Hey, hey, hey. Happy Sunday for real this time. I say that because the last time we went live and I was like, Happy Sunday, I straight up thought it was Sunday, but it was Saturday. It was Saturday. That's how much of a dork I am. So joke's on me, right? And then I meant to tell y'all that whenever I went live with Joe Schmo, and then I forgot. And so, anyways, happy Sunday to you guys too. Hey, Miss Mojo, how are you? And Beach Bum. New glasses. All right. You go, girl. Jason got some new glasses too. Well, I say new glasses. He didn't have glasses before, but now he does. So that's good. Hey, KDH. How are you? You bet the Idaho prison and is a Hilton compared to Maricopa County. I have that feeling too. I think a lot of us kind of did. Hey, Lamisa. Want to take the dog for a walk? It's what is that from Corey Richens? The Walk the Dog, whatever. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Chat strong. AZ Mermaid, what's up? How are you? Oh, she can't wait to go back to Idaho for sure. For sure. She was, I mean, as soon as whatever court hearing was that? Well, yeah, when they found her guilty for Brandon, right? Yeah. And she was like, Judge, can I blah 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 within 30 days? And he's like, yeah. I hope y'all can hear me. I have my little window unit running and I always feel like it's super loud. It is on this end, but anyways. Has anybody heard any updates from Colby? I haven't, of course, I haven't looked. Why am I doing that? I hate too many tabs. Do y'all? Don't y'all? I do. It always gets me in a big old mess. Let's see. I hope he's okay. He's so young. Hold on. I'm trying to move stuff around, so I'm freezing. Anyways, welcome in, everybody. Hey, Danny. Has this woman been giving interviews? Lori, right? Oh, God. I hope not anymore. She better get him out of her damn system. You got your coffee? All right. Good, Donna. And I'm still scrolling up. Hey, Cherry Pie. No more remote viewing. Ushering in the second coming by using remote viewing and red rumming on the intelligence they got from remote viewing. Gang stalk, right? Hashtag LDS fighting in the heavens and RV helps them fight in the heavens. That tracks, man. It's such a disturbing thought, much less, all the things. On so many levels, it's like so invasive and intrusive and voyeuristic and wrong, might I add. And they obviously don't have souls. So there's that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Really do. Okay, now Colby gave an update from his hospital bed. Poor guy, been through so much. Oh, yeah, he might have had a stroke and meningitis allegedly. I don't really know. I don't even know what that is. I've heard about it, but I don't know the first thing about it. So I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here. Hey, Marissa Monroe. Hello from Louisiana. Okay. All right. I really don't have any. We're just going to chew the fat. Okay. Because, I mean, I kind of messed myself up. I say that, but I watched, I think it was 2020, and it was Well, I can show you because I'm very disturbed by what I saw. So it's about John Benet, Ramsay. And I don't know, this could be old, but because it's from this channel, Crime Tracker, but it was from 5 days ago, 48-hour murder documentary, 2025. And I never realized, I already suspected, and this is just my opinion. Hey, I have my right to my own opinion, okay? Not trying to mess with anybody who's been there since day one, but I don't know. I guess because of the inverted chiasmic research I've been doing, of course, it's gonna, I kind of identify these other things in other cases, the ritualistic aspects of it. And I swear I was like, wow, this thing is dripping with ritualistic crime, murder, secret combinations, whatever you want to call it. It's disturbing. And so I watched it twice earlier. And so it kind of threw it knocked Lori Daybell right out of my head. And right here, look, we're just going to watch this little part right here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you see.
Respond in a phone call.
Oh, I don't have my damn speaker on. Hold on. Some people's kids, right? Come on. So I'm going to Phoenix. We're leaving Tuesday night. Yay. All right, finally it came on. Okay. Here we go.
Importance, you hear John Benet's voice.
Police officers were leaving between 9:30 and 9:45 before that time period of the phone call had even expired. One lone detective was left on the scene.
Detective Linda Arndt is left behind in the house with John and Patsy Ramsay.
Arndt didn't have extensive homicide experience managing a kidnapping and what was about to unfold.
Boom. I was like, okay, what are the odds? Grandfather clock, that's significant. Black and white floor, just like Uncle Charles. I know that's just symbolism, but hold on.
This was likely pretty overwhelming for one lone police officer.
I was praying.
So
Linda Arndt had said to me, we're hopeful that the kidnappers will just drop John Benet off someplace. And I kept looking out the window, clutching this cross and just imagining that she was going to come running down the street.
Right.
They're waiting for a telephone call from the kidnapper. What's going to happen next?
My former ABC News colleague, Elizabeth Vargas, did one of the first extensive interviews with Detective Linda Arndt.
10 o'clock comes and goes, and there's...
I don't know. And it sucks also to be this... I don't know what to call it. I don't want to say awake or whatever, but aware, I guess. And it really sucks. I can't turn it off now. And it sucks. Because I see it in so many other cases. And that's why I say I really feel like there are so many more ritualistic type killings and cases that we're unaware of because that's never at the forefront, right? Got to protect the cult. And by cult, I mean, not Chad and Lori's. I'm talking like follow the money, follow the money. Okay. It goes all the way up. And then everybody is a pawn underneath, that's just me. You're welcome to your own opinion. And it's gross. Then John has ties back to Michigan. I watched some stuff on that. That is wild. That island. I mean, what's up with these people and their damn islands? Okay, get off or get on. All go to the island, and then you can have your Gulf of America. You can have all your things, and just leave us the fuck alone. Okay, and our kids. Leave our kids the hell alone. Go. It's not hard. I do. Well, yeah, definitely. Somewhat. Yeah, I don't think that she was moved No, no. It happened right there. Usually when a child goes missing, I've learned, from experiencing it with JJ and Tylee, their mother was responsible. And I mean, that tracks because, I mean, how many times does a child, they go to the school, they go to their daycare, they go to a babysitter, they go to friend's house, they go to clubs, different events, not events, but different groups, different clubs. Oh, hey, Mom. Right? Send that bitch. We got the bitch. Man. You know what? I want to know if, because I have that picture of Uncle Charles, right? And of him pitching Miss. So it's like, I want to end mine with saying the evidence shows, and then I was like, in my mind, this is how it went. I don't think I can make this happen, but just flash that picture up there of him, be like, evidence shows you were wrong, hooker. he pitches with the opposite hand. Just saying. I don't know. She's just such a hooker, though. I can't help it. That's been my whole mission, my whole goal in life every day, ever since all this, was just to take her words and then use them back on her. It's like holding a mirror up. Anyways, wonder if we squirt her with water. Can we bring water bottles and just like a cat? Oh my God, I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I'm just giddy, anxious. I don't know. Ready. 1-2 punch, right? I'm so glad. I can't wait to see y'all too. And like Megan, Megan's like, my room's the bar. I'm like, oh Lord. What else? I'm trying to think. Anyways, I'm just glad. I'm happy. And I've told y'all, that Todd is going to be there, my brother. I'm so glad. Like, oh my God. That's like, in my mind, it's like full circle. I feel like he needs to be there. Hopefully all goes well and he can be there. He's supposed to be there. He's planning on being there. I'm more anxious about that, I guess. Or what's the word I'm looking for? Anticipation? Anyways, is Larry gonna go? I was wondering. Sorry, not trying to, chat right here. Like we're on a phone call or something. Yes. Definitely. I also thought about reading some of Uncle Charles's own words because they were pretty powerful. In his emails to her, in his text messages to her, where he's like, you're a destroyer of families, that. And I'm just like, because his texts weren't allowed to be read in court and at the trial. So I also thought about that too. But I've also been working on, I have like options, I guess you can say, as far as impact statements. What the hell? What did I do with it? There it goes. Oh no, it's not right there. Well, there's only one. Never mind. Families. Let me type this word in. Let's see. No, I don't want her. Okay, I know he said destroyer of families. And so I'm typing that keyword in and it's just bringing her up and it's weird. I found this awesome channel right here. It's called Crime Timelines. And this is Oh yeah, 7 hours and 40 minutes and 11 seconds of nothing but the Daybell case. And they went like, I dreamed about this. Like I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. And then that's never going to happen. But they corroborated, not corroborated, but corroborated.
But
Yeah.
I'll show you something.
I would just say from the beginning, what it felt like to me at least is he was just talking to individuals, and he was very kind of private. And so he would talk to her, and then she would kind of share with us. So he
I wish
wouldn't
a bird
get
would just fly
overly
into her
involved talking to
face.
us. She would just more share what he would teach her.
See? And then they go and
And
they
then you
jump.
talked about meeting Alex Cox at a conference in November of 2018 in Arizona.
Yes,
Was Chad also present at that conference?
yes,
Was Lori
Oh, wow.
present?
yes.
She firing off.
Was there any other activity or get together held around that time?
Yeah, Lori had some people from the conference that were staying at her house. And after the conference, she had a gathering at her house.
Gathering.
And she invited
I
me.
will never say gathering ever a damn again. Okay. Witches gather and we just have get togethers. Okay. But that's gathering.
To attend.
Did you in fact attend?
Yes.
While you were there, did you make any observations of Chad and Lori together?
Unfortunately.
The three of us went outside to the backyard together, and at one time, Lori started playing basketball
Oh, yeah.
and asked Chad to play basketball with her.
Absolutely, John. Tell us how you really feel.
It was very uncomfortable for me because I felt like
It was
a third wheel.
uncomfortable
So
for
I
me.
said that I was going to go inside the house, and Chad said that he was going to go inside the house with me. And
She's so
Lori
cuddly.
said, why are you going inside? Are you scared of me?
Yeah, oh yeah. Should
Did
be.
Lori ever indicate anything
See?
about having a special mission here on Earth?
Isn't it cool?
Yes.
And what did she tell you about that?
She felt that she was
She's such a
part of the 144,000. And then as she developed her relationship with Chad, she felt like they were the head leaders of it.
And when you talk about the
We know you're the head,
144,000,
though,
can you explain
Melanie.
a little bit about what that
Mom, if you're
would
still
mean?
here.
It's reference.
Mom, if you're still here, have you happened upon that recording of Melanie? If so, I'm just reminding, just in case. Just keep looking for it. Please. I'm dying. Because I feel like the story would be off. Because I wonder if it was before her East Idaho News extravaganza, when she hit the media scene on her speaking tour.
From scripture and the Bible and the Doctrine and Covenants about a group of 144,000 that would be here during the return of our Savior, and they would help
It's actually before, because that's what y'all be doing before stuff.
do a great missionary work throughout the world. They would have, a lot of a spiritual endowment from on high.
So
In-
if someone
in
were to be the
English.
head of that 144,000, would that be a pretty high calling?
Absolutely.
Would that be a position of pretty significant power?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go get something real quick.
Did she talk about going to the temple with Chad?
She did.
What did she tell you about that?
She told me that they were going to be resealed again like they had been in previous lives together.
And did she tell you that they in fact had gone to the
Going along
temple?
with this?
Yes,
And that was in November, about a month after meeting each other.
that's right.
And she told you the purpose of that was so they could be sealed together again.
That's right.
At that time, was Charles still alive?
Yes.
And was Tammy still alive?
Yes.
Oh.
Can you tell me about Chad and Lori sealing themselves in the temple
Yeah, tell us about that.
to each other?
Read the James and Lana
And
story.
for those people that aren't familiar, couples will go to the temple and be married and sealed together, meaning they believe that the relationship will continue after this life ends. Did Chad and Lori talk about what they were doing in the temple together, which would be against church policy and procedure?
I know.
Right.
I'll tell you what they were doing. They were conspiring to murder Charles, Tammy, JJ, Tylee, Brandon, probably mom, probably some Adam, maybe Summer, people who are on their shit list, basically. That's what was going on in them temples, for sure. I mean, I wasn't there, and I don't remote view, so I mean, pretty big hunch. Pretty good hunch.
Chad didn't tell me, but Lori did.
What did she tell you?
And she just told me they went together and they felt that they were sealed by those on the other side of the veil that had the authority to do that.
So they were in the temple together
right
when this happened. Right. Yet she's still married to Charles and he's still married to Tammy.
Correct.
And when you would raise this with them that, hey, you're still married, what was their reaction, or at least Lori's, because I'm sure you never had a chance to talk to Chad about it.
She said that it was okay that they did this because they had been married so many times before that their spouses would understand someday.
Yeah, they would just understand.
So they're going on jogs together. He's talking about these multiple probations. The conference ends. And what happens from there?
So he goes back home and
thank you.
I just know that they're communicating on the phone every single day. I do know that. You know, she would let me know. Yeah.
Did you ever think, she might be falling in love with him?
AARP Thompson.
Well, yeah, I knew. They pretty much hit it off.
Did you wonder, hold on, she's married and he's married too, and they both have kids? Was that a thought you ever expressed to Lori?
Well, I did actually offer the idea. I'm like, why don't you just go ahead and get a divorce? And they were told that.
I mean, I found some screenshots the other day. I mean, because, I'm constantly running across stuff that I've taken screenshots of long time ago, forgotten about them. They're buried in the pile, the terabytes, okay, the voluminous terabytes. And there was, in a Facebook group that I was in, it was Melanie Gibbs' brother-in-law at the time. So this would have been so Melanie's Gibbs' husband, her husband's name was Brendan. Melanie and Brendan, and then there's Melanie and Brandon. Well, Brendan has a brother named Byron. Okay, Gibb, and he was spilling the tea on old Melanie here. I mean, he was like, "Oh, I don't have it in front of me, and I hate that." But it was along the lines of Melanie told her husband back when they were all, splitting and redivorcing so they could remarry after they murder and stuff like that. But Melanie told her husband at the time, and I'm not saying allegedly because according to Byron, that he had darkness in his eyes. Yeah, I was like, same thing like with Janice. Whenever she says she's talking to Alex, either email or text, I don't remember right offhand, but it's in the Chandler 1108 page FOIA docs. And she says she does it in a more passive aggressive way, like in a covert type way, like where she says she's taking up for Charles. And so at first glance, you're like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, she's taking up for him. She says Charles loves me. Charles is turning the phones back on. Charles is moving Lori here to Phoenix or whatever in that area with no strings attached. So she's like, and I've had the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost confirm this to me, or be with, like she had the Holy Ghost is what she said. But then she says towards the end of the message to Alex, she says, I can't help if Charles doesn't have the Holy Ghost with him. Okay. So when you kind of take all that into consideration and you give it another glance, just kind of understand that she doesn't say, I love Charles. She says, Charles loves me. Charles is doing this. It's all monetary. It's all temporal, worldly, if you will. It's all to benefit them, the exploiters, the freaking enablers. Okay. And it's sickening because it I don't know, it just kind of goes undetected. Because at first glance, just the same with Summer's statements, even her crying her ass off to her sister. And I mean, I get it. It's gut wrenching. It sounds horrible, but I don't know. I've analyzed the words she said. I've analyzed, and then that whole thing I'm talking about Summer now, where from listening to that recording of Summer talking to Lori, her sister, Lori was in jail. This is after, it was the same month that the kids were found. Okay. And it's just heart wrenching, right? You're like, I can't really listen to it because it's triggering. But in that recording, we hear Summer say, "You cut me and Mom off for 4 months," and so I, for some reason, just automatically assumed, or just kind of chalked it off to, oh, that was during, the interesting time, the time of interest. Which would be July, August, September, October, right? That's what I was thinking. Anyways, but then when you really pull all these elements in, you have Summer talking. I mean, even the day of, anything yet? She's asking her brother, Summer's asking her brother Alex, anything yet? As she's getting on the plane to go to New York. Anything yet? I don't. And then, anyways, that. And so, I mean, she was in communication with Lori and or Alex or both a lot. So was Janice. And I mean, they don't get a pass in my book. And that's just me. And I have the right. I have that right. I reserve the right. And I just don't. I don't trust them. I don't feel sorry for them. You don't get to play victim and be the problem too. Okay. So not just enabling, but like really encouraging, maybe. Like, sucks. It really sucks. It's really sickening, y'all. It makes my stomach hurt. My stomach now hurts. Thank you, Janice. Damn it. But like Summer talked to, October 1st. Okay. So this is JJ and Tylee are gone. Charles is gone. Brandon, this is October 1st. So it's the day before Brandon gets shot at. And this was in an interview that Janice and Summer did together. Right. And so Janice vouched for Lori, saying that, oh, I talked to JJ. He knows me. I'm Mimi, whatever. Stupid shit. And so that's impossible because he was in the ground with his sister. Okay. So this vouching shit, but it kind of, let me not say that out loud. Let me just keep that to myself. But so you have Janice talking to Lori, and she showed her phone bill, and she showed it to Nate. Nate reported on it, and then other people reported on it. But I found the source, and so, and so you could tell somebody took a black permanent marker and like redacted her phone bill. She turned in her phone bill to prove that there was a phone call on October 1st to Lori, blah blah blah. But all the other things were blacked out with a marker. Somebody did it. Anyways. And so it was like a 90-minute phone call. Hour and a half, October 1st. That's the day that Lori went and got the storage unit, not Chad, not Chad's broke ass. Okay. Oh my God. Not Toad. And Lori rented it under Lori Ryan. She's a fucking liar. She can't help herself. anyways, it's gross. So all this, so that's the same day that that Lori talked to her mom, according to Janice's phone bill. And no, Janice, JJ was not there. You did not talk to him, maybe in spirit, because he was dead in the ground with your other grandchild, Tylee. Okay, so then the next day, Brandon gets shot at. Then on October 7th, Summer texts Lori, and that's where we have the, what's his name? You know, the other killer dude. Oh my God, it starts with an E. Oh my God, it slipped my mind. That's going to piss me off. Eduardo? No. Anyways, it's a Tesla incident. And she's like, Summer's like, hey, there's a Tesla incident. Basically, Brandon's claimed somebody took a shot at him, probably trying to set up Al and Mel, and Edgar is the name. And so Lori's like, Edgar? And Summer's like, no, he would have made it look like an accident. He wouldn't have missed, blah, 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 blah. You know, because everybody's got more than one hitman in their back pocket, right? I mean, that's normal, right? Never. Anyways. All right, I'm just rambling at this point.
They weren't allowed to.
They weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
Because of church teachings, or
No, something that they received through the other side of the veil, how they would speak about it.
Second anointing.
And said, no, we're not allowed to do that.
so they received like a spiritual prompting or
Calling election,
a
make
revelation.
sure.
However he got his revelation.
However he got it.
Yeah.
Said, don't get a divorce.
Right. He wasn't allowed to, actually.
Was
I
not
thought
allowed to
that-
get a divorce.
That's correct.
Right up. Anyways, I appreciate this. I put the link to this in the chat too. I'll do it again. So it's all about, it's like 8 hours of valid.
Do you recall the
Look where those
last
glasses.
Christmas that your family, the Boudreaux family, and the Charles and Lori Vallow family spent together?
Yeah, it would have been 2018.
And was that a
Right.
typical Christmas?
No, it was different.
Yeah.
Why was it different?
Um,
There you go. John said it all.
in 2018,
John.
our families were
You get a star.
changing. That particular Christmas, I wasn't as aware of everything that was going on. But when we went there, when you spend that much time together all the time, you don't have to say anything. You just know from each other's body language. And when you show up places, when you do things, it's just, you always
And
feel
there's
welcome.
Melanie.
You feel loved. You feel close. It's like you can pick up right where you left off. And
Mm-hmm.
that Christmas when I was over at Lori's house, there just felt like a lot of distance. There was, and usually just the family. It was just like the Coxes and the Boudreaux. And
Can you imagine?
that Christmas, there was someone named Melanie Gibbs who was there who, she was a stranger to me. So it was kind of different to have a stranger at Christmas. And then, and there's really not very much conversation with me, and a lot less focus on my kids and the kids that Christmas.
Yeah.
So when you say less focus from who?
From Lori.
And
Yeah.
how was her interaction with you and your family different than
Good one.
before?
Yeah. Lori was pretty doting. When my kids would come over, she would make them feel loved.
Like her grandkid? Because that's what she thinks about herself. She's like, oh, your mother-in-law, like, no, bitch, you meddled and you're a meddler. And I'm not saying you forced Melanie to, turn her against her husband. Obviously, wasn't built on a strong foundation. But it's just interesting that Melanie and Brandon had just made 10 years, October 31st, 2000. And was it 19? No. 18. 2018, they had been married 10 years, which I mean, if we were to do an investigation into Melanie Boudreaux's devices, would we find her applications getting ready for Social Security benefits for her and her 4 children? Okay, that's a good penny. We saw that from Lori. I'm sure that was ready to roll. Man, I don't want to get married then, because I'm not trying to be, I'll be like 10 years, gotta go. Oh, no life insurance on me or you, and no Social Security. Okay.
Oh, she was,
don't murder.
She would, just try to spoil him with presents and attention. And that was kind of her way of letting people know that she noticed them. And that didn't happen that Christmas.
So it was markedly different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you observe Lori and your wife, Melanie,
It's not
at
what I
that
were
party?
trying to do, but thank you.
Yes.
Pull her card.
Do you recall what their interaction was?
Oh, what we having? Love you.
I remember leaving afterwards and talking
Be
to my
safe.
wife about
You still
how it
got
felt
$1 million
different,
life
because it
insurance
felt so
policy?
different, and her telling me that nothing felt different at all.
Kidding, Mom.
So I would say that she felt like it was fine and normal.
Hit me
It
up.
didn't seem to her like it did to me.
Okay.
And when you say some of the ideas your wife came back
I love
with,
this. It's so cool.
did they center around particular topics?
Yeah, the things that were she felt a need to go to the temple every single day, which
absolutely, John.
is a little bit extreme, and like in our faith we believe in
that's
going
the
to the temple,
example.
and I think regular attendance
That's
can
the
be
role
good.
model.
It's something where you go and kind of
Right.
practice ritualistically like your faith and show God that you are trying to keep promises to him. And so it's a good thing to do.
He can see you outside the temple too.
Is it unusual to go every single day?
Very, and it got even more extreme. Like she would have.
Why would the church not flag that? Because they obviously keep up with it because they turn the records in for this case. They were always going into the temples together to, in my opinion, conspire. Okay. To go plan. To have visions. What are they doing in there? Besides pointing 2 mirrors at each other and making a portal. Okay. What's up with that? They're sick. So they should have flagged that. Plus, Lori was working at the damn temple on Thursdays, the day that my Uncle Charles was murdered. Wonder if she made it to temple work where she didn't get paid. I guess it's spiritual payment. That's a thought.
Have to go during like
but Lori didn't break up with the church. Man, I'm not buying it. I'm not taking anybody's word unless the actual church comes out and pulls like they did for Tim Ballard. Okay. Not you, Gordon Bowen. Not you. That don't count. Doesn't count for you.
family trips to Disneyland or things like that just were very, very overwhelming.
Yeah, me too, girl.
She had to focus on
it ain't worth it.
On this idea that like the world could end soon, and we had a disagreement about buying $10,000 worth of food storage right away.
There are
things that just seemed extreme.
It's not enough just to tattle on, to have everybody tattling on the other one, this, that, and the next. But no, they're like, they are, it. I mean, new name Noah's. He slid in there with a, hidden camera. Thank God. Ew. And then it's also really, I'd want to hide too if that's what I was doing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about that ain't right. No, that ain't right. It is about being right and wrong, and that is not right. But you also don't have to convert to my religion. Okay, it ain't about that. It's just like that is very inverted what y'all are doing. And I wish that people could just see Whew, talk about demonic oppression is a thing, right? Spirit, yeah. Anyways.
In going into 2019, the situation between the Boudreaux and the Vallows, was it affected by this religious activity or the sort of atmosphere at Christmas?
Okay, hold on. I found this one earlier too. This is President Oaks, okay, and announcing
that we are children of heavenly parents.
En we weten dat we kinderen zijn van hemelse ouders.
So we know that we have a heavenly mother or mothers.
En we weten dat we een hemelse moeder hebben of moeders.
Oh, they're translating.
But for reasons the Lord has not revealed,
But for reasons the Lord has not revealed,
we do not know much about
we do not know much about
our heavenly mother.
our heavenly mother. What? You got a heavenly mother?
Know that we are children of
We know that we are children of heavenly parents.
En we weten dat we kinderen zijn
Listen.
van hemelse ouders.
So we know that we have a heavenly mother or mothers.
So we know that we have a heavenly mother or mothers. No plural there. Nah, plural. That's in one sentence too. That's like one word or in between it.
En we weten dat we een hemelse moeder hebben of moeders.
But for reasons the Lord
But for reasons the Lord
has not revealed,
has not revealed,
we do not know much about
we do not know much
heavenly
about
mother.
our heavenly mother.
Know that we are children of heavenly parents.
Okay, it's just repeating. I didn't know it was going that damn fast. Okay. And I got to show you something else too while we're right here. Something I noticed. That's not it. Hold on. Okay, I got to refresh that. Okay, let me push this. Let me go back here while I find the other thing.
Yeah, it just kind of
Hold
got
on.
more bizarre.
Pretty bizarre. Holy balls.
At some point, did Chad or Lori talk to you about the concept of light and dark?
Yes.
Do you recall who talked to you about that?
Lori shared it with me.
Girl,
Did
you
she
are
tell
too.
you where she got that information from?
She got it from Chad.
What did she share with you about the concept of light and dark?
So if someone was light, they had made contracts with Jesus Christ before they came here. And if they were dark, they had made contracts and promises with Satan.
They weren't just born. Y'all weren't just born. Like with no strings. No planning. God.
And it was a different scale level of how dark or light they were.
So it was a decision before they came here to Earth.
He's
Yes.
like, nope, that's not it. Wrong. Melanie's getting scratched off the list right now. That's okay though. Don't have no fear because Melanie has her own list.
Initially, yes.
And then with regard to the multiple
back it up in case I talked over.
Initially, yes.
And then with regard to the multiple probations, as you learned more about that, what did Lori share with you regarding multiple probations?
That people lived multiple times. And then she would find out, she would try to find out like when that
Oprah.
was.
Remember Oprah?
And was there some kind of a rating
Vargas
system or a system to easily identify if someone was light or dark or what level they were?
She would ask him and he would somehow find out, and he would find out, how many times they'd been on this planet or any other planets, I guess. And he would just
Anybody else
find
ever
that
been on
out
another
by asking
planet?
questions the way he did, and then she would share it with us.
And the he you're referring to, is that Chad?
Yes.
Raphael.
At some point, were people designated with a number and then either an L or a D?
Correct.
Where would those designations originate?
Stands for
From
Lori
Chad.
Daybell.
And if someone was designated a D, did that stand for dark?
Correct.
And the L was for light?
Correct.
So Chad and Lori were teaching that in one realm of creations, there could be 5 different worlds to which one person could come to.
Okay.
So on this one, for example, it shows that there is one realm and one realm of creations on the left-hand side. And as you can see, it has 5 circles. So each one of those ones would be a world. And to the left, I have a arrow showing the spirit world. And one person could come to any of these worlds. And he had said that I had come to the 3rd world within this creation 5 times. To the 4th world, I had come 4 times. And to the 5th world, which will be the
5?
earth, which was also the lowest and the darkest of the worlds within this creation, that I had come to this earth 4 times.
Oh, not 5.
And I also see a note there, Brother H.F. Jesus. Could you explain what that was?
What?
Yeah, one time Chad had
I
said
heard
that
before.
he was the brother of Heavenly Father and Jesus.
Oh.
And that in another creation, he had been the Holy Ghost.
Lori, from what I understand, said that she has been on 21 planets and Chad has been on 31. Have you heard that
Prove
before?
it. Pictures or it didn't happen. You
Mhm.
know? I
I
wrote
wouldn't
that
say
down.
planets, but I would
She
just
did.
say lives.
Lives.
Mhm.
So she's had 21 lives
Mhm.
and he's had 31.
Mhm.
That he was a Holy Ghost and has had 5 lives on this earth and she's had 4 lives.
There's symbolism behind
Correct.
that. By the
Well,
way.
no, I think she had 5 lives on this earth.
She had 5 lives on this. They both had 5 lives on this earth.
I believe so.
And Chad made a portal in Lori's closet so she can visit him.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? That sounds kind of crazy, I'll be honest.
It does sound crazy. So a portal is something that he created
He didn't
for her.
invent?
I don't know exactly how he did it, but maybe
like a box?
No, it's just a spot where he just maybe
She
said a
knows.
prayer or however words he uses to create this portal. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Sure.
But it's not like he could come through it physically, but it was a way for them to interact spiritually.
I see. So it was a sacred area where if she wanted to connect with
sacred
him,
areas.
she could go sit and then they would have a connection.
Remember that time Joseph Smith had seer stones and would use dowsing rods? And remember that time? I do.
What do you think about that?
I thought it was
And the talismans. Remember that? And he would dig for treasure. Remember that? It's not far-fetched when you pull all that, when you take the history of the church and its founding freaking prophet, it makes all the sense in the world. This isn't, no wonder what they have done, they think they've done in righteous, just like Rob Wood told Summer, what your sister has done, she thinks she has done in righteousness. I bet they do. I bet they do feel persecuted because this is nothing, at least in their minds, different than what they're founding, and I mean, the church has not disavowed Joseph Smith yet. They come in because they have to appeal broader to a broader audience, Christian, you know, they're competing for the new order, allegedly.
Different. I thought, how do you do that? Like, do you have to have some special skills to do that? I didn't understand how people could do that, but I don't know. It was pretty extreme. But
David didn't make you a portal.
To
in
me,
your
everything
closet?
was new, and I just thought, well, these people know things that I don't know about this stuff.
That's your best friend. It's her best friend, y'all. I'm gonna smoke my cigarette.
Did Lori ever tell you
shit.
anything with regard to an individual being possessed?
Yes.
And what did she tell you regarding that?
So my first experience with her sharing that with me was
she acted so
she
weak
was
here.
I recall she was in, I believe it was the second house that I met her in. So it was probably, you know, that January time of 2019. And she
Hurry up,
first
make it up,
started
Tony.
telling me she was in the backyard of her house. She came in and she started sharing all the information she just heard from Chad. Chad let her know that Charles Vallow was taken over by an evil spirit. And that was the first time she had heard of it. And and then, you know, that made him dark according to them.
And that was in
Wow.
January of 2019?
I believe that is correct.
Yes, we did. We're hoping, you know, our prayers, thoughts are with him. He's so young. I'm worried, you know, we're all worried. Ugh, scary, you know, a lot going on. He works out, takes care of himself, but stress is a mofo. It really is. Ugh. When I heard that, I was like, what? Scary. Thank you. Thank you for, you know, mentioning it. Oh, I hit buttons.
And at that lunch at Firebirds with Melanie Gibb and Lori, did you learn anything about Charles?
What link?
Yes, this was the first time that Lori talked about someone being possessed by a dark spirit or a demon. This first time that I heard the idea of
He was born in 95. He
someone
might just be 30.
passing away and having this small window of time where a dark spirit or a demon could come into the body and take over the body.
Now, this is somewhat has been corroborated by, we have one of our channel members, one of our OGs, I guess you could say, is DJ Norman. And he talks about this window of time as well. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So, I mean, it's in the spiritual world. It's whatever the hell they're doing, practicing the dark arts. Okay. But something about this window of time, 2 minute window of time. I'm going to back it up because it takes her forever to freaking say anything.
Lori talked about someone being possessed by a dark spirit or a demon. This first time that I heard the idea of someone passing away and having this small window of time where a dark spirit or a demon could come into the body and take over the body. And she said that that's what had happened to Charles, and that Charles was now possessed by a dark spirit or demon named Ned.
Goodness.
Had you heard the term possession before?
Yeah, I had read about it in the scriptures before.
Had you heard it talked about in the way Lori was describing it?
No, not at all.
And do you know where Lori got that information?
That information came from Chad.
Mm-hmm. Where did he get it from?
What did she teach you about zombies and belief in zombies?
So, so the first person, as we all know, is Charles, was considered one. And That was brought to Lori's attention by Chad on the phone call. I was in her house when that phone call came in, and he described to her that Charles was no longer Charles, that this unclean spirit that was friends with Charles
That is just
on
so
the earth, when they used to
bizarre.
be friends, had now passed on, and now he is this unclean spirit on the earth roaming around, and now he's attached himself to Charles, and now he has entered his body and taken over it. So he's not really Charles anymore. He's now this guy named Ned Snyder. And so it was when she told me, and she seemed blown out by it.
Blown out.
I could tell she was like, that is really different. And she told me, and I thought, that is very unusual.
Oh
It
my
was just,
God.
because Chad had this influence on people because he had visionary experience. He could see things. At least he said, he portrays that he did. But I do believe that when you think somebody can see things or have visionary experiences about things, you tend to kind of believe them more than the average person. Because, if you ask me, I'd say I don't see anything. So you wouldn't take my point of view or my opinion. But if you had somebody that was really good at having visionary, because he often said that it was like the veil was open when he had his near-death experiences. So he often said that veil is open all the time. So he had this way of seeing things that Lori and I didn't have that we didn't have that gift of seeing. But I do have come to understand that gift has been.
She looks like she has that shit-eating grin, and I don't have a better word for it. But it's gleeful. I'm going to use Megan's word, gleeful. She's giddy. She's sadistic is what I'm really getting around to.
So he had this way of seeing things that Lori and I didn't have that we didn't have that gift of seeing. But I do have come to understand that
she looked up to the left and she's like,
that we didn't have that gift of seeing. But I do have come to understand that gift has been manipulated by the adversary. And so
by Satan.
Absolutely.
She told him all of this.
She did.
And you're saying Lori even felt uncomfortable with that information that Chad had told her?
In the first day, I'll say the first day that she was trying to absorb it, I knew it was new for her.
And Chad's the one that called Lori and
Absolutely.
said, an evil spirit has attached himself to Charles.
That's right.
Named Ned.
That's right.
Any idea where that name came from?
I don't know how he got his information, other than she would say he would often sit in his portal and receive revelation about.
You know who else sits in their portal? AKA bathroom? Allegedly Tom Harrison. So, yeah, I was very disturbed when I heard that on Mormon Stories podcast that time, how he goes to the bathroom a lot. He's just like, hold on. And I mean, this is when he was a counselor. So, I don't know. Allegedly. Again, allegedly. So,
people.
So he's sitting in the portal, most likely.
Revelation about people.
So he's sitting in the portal, most likely, and received that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling Lori, Charles has this evil spirit. He's a zombie.
I'm not sure if they used that word in the beginning.
Okay.
I think Melanie Gibbs brought that in for the wow factor. Okay. I'm not saying that only Melanie Gibbs used it because I mean, definitely they're co-conspirators in my opinion. So, but I think in order to, redirect, like to deflect, to distract the police, from jumping all up in her, here, wow factors, portals. We're going to talk about portals. We're going to talk about zombies. We're going to talk about dark spirits, energy work. I don't do that though. I don't know how to manipulate. What? You're doing it right now, Melanie.
She's lost her mind.
Okay.
She's lost her mind. I don't know how to say it. Where she thinks she's a resurrected being and a a God and remember the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck has gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. We stand in Dallas. So,
where's your truck?
Y'all, I didn't realize. Oh, what the heck? I didn't realize until probably about a month ago, or before the trial started for Uncle Charles, that I thought this was like, I don't know why, but I'd never, you'll see right here on his left shoulder. I think he has his undergarments on here, or he has an undershirt, something. I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't realize that they were possibly his undergarments.
I don't know. A friend of mine's truck picked me up. I went to the CSI to file a report, which is.
Oh, and I also read in the report recently, because I've been pulling things together, that the bishop actually tipped Lori off that Charles was trying to serve her with divorce papers, because Nancy Jo was right. Lori, Charles was divorcing your ass, but you gotta stop for 2 seconds and stop evading responsibility, culpability, or risking $1 million. Karma, girl, karma. Oh man, this is too much. Don't murder, y'all. Okay, it's so easy.
The community bridges or something. File a report.
See it right there.
Which is the community bridges or something. File a
I don't know why
report.
it's doing that. Okay.
So you did the petition.
Yeah, they ordered a pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
Threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
how did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed," was what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
I think, and this is just my opinion, I do believe that Lori is responsible and behind Joe's death. However, I don't think my uncle is saying Joe, like she said this too. I think he's saying, because he said right here, he's like, said, how did she do that? My bishop right there in the car, he was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed," with what she said there. Okay. The cop says, okay, that's not a threat to kill you. And then Charles, they're kind of talking over each other. And he says, you yesterday was a threat to kill me, meaning number one. What did she say yesterday? She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are or what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers." Did I skip it? Did I miss it? Where'd it go? I'm probably right on top of it here. Hold on.
What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
I'm meaning he's saying
so
also.
What makes her a danger to herself and to others?
Threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
how did she do that?
There it is.
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed," was what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was.
So she speaks.
There's one. So yesterday, I'm gonna kill you. I'm just saying that's just my 2 cents. But
speaking as a spiritual being.
She's not here. She lost her reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell her what to do. And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, "I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider." I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people.
It does, Peter. Absolutely.
Tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to.
This right here, where he says that Shoot. Right here. She says, I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider, where she gets these names from. She got all this stuff, these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when. And she's also married to James the Just. And he's like, okay, this is all foreign to me. It's just foreign to me. He said, and I mean, Uncle Charles is like, well, oh no, the cop says, well, I'm not LDS. It's crazy stuff. I know you're using LDS terms here, but it's just she's nonsensical. I'm not stupid. She could have done anything. Okay. I thought this would be the best way to do that. And it was. I think so. She's gone through with what she's gone through and what Gabe witnessed with me on the phone today. I thought it was best to have her. She's psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her. It's crazy. But I mean, to know that the bishop would tip Lori off, you know, so that she wouldn't attend that Boise Preparing a People conference. And Chad was, you know, in the hotel room with all the other ladies. Oh my God. Can you just imagine him? I picture him with like one of those, like a genie, one of them Alibaba. I don't know, just like a big tall turban or something. Oh my gosh. You know, there were priesthood blessings flying around that day. Everybody was getting anointed, if you know what I mean. Anyways, that's gross. I'm so sorry. I need to shut up sometimes. Oh, they're just 6 years of this shit stuff. 6 years. Solid. No more. I don't know who you are, but you're not Charles. You are so-and-so. These are signs of mental issues. And with the I will destroy you adds weight to his claim. Police dropped the ball. Definitely, Chris. Definitely. We totally. And it really sucks, you know. Definitely should have been a 72-hour hold. Or 72-hour minute minimum. Okay, gotcha. Hey, Rio for life, Kim D. Welcome. Okay.
What you did with Charles, but I can murder you now.
I'm kind of leaving this open. I hope y'all don't mind. That way I can watch the transcript. So
My powers. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was
So she's speaking as a spiritual being.
Oh, that thing.
She lost her reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ, and they tell her what to do. And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, "I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider." I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had.
Mike and Nancy James.
And
Mike Stroud.
she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when, and she was also married to James the Just. And
okay, this is all foreign to me. So.
It's just code names, dude.
It's foreign to me.
Well, I'm not LDS.
It's crazy stuff.
I know you're using LDS terms here.
But it's just she's nonsensical. Okay. I'm not stupid. She could have done anything.
Okay.
I thought this would be the best way to do it. With what she's gone through and what Gabe witnessed with me on the phone today, I thought it was best to have her. She's psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her.
How old is she?
30, 45.
45.
Maricopa County.
So if we talk to her, is she going to be able to have a rational conversation with her?
Oh, she will.
Maricopa County.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
She'll probably tell me I'm crazy, huh? Is that what you suspect?
Probably. You're a dark spirit. That's what she's going to tell you.
Okay.
She knows right from wrong.
Spirit. Gabe's going to be, he's our bishop. He's going to be a dark spirit. Whatever that means. So you're evil.
And you said this has been going on for like 4 years?
Well, it's to an extent, but it's gotten really bad the last several months. And I've been trying to ignore it because hoping it'll get better.
Is she on any medications?
No. She won't do medications.
Has she been to the
She
doctor?
don't do medications.
She won't go to the doctor because she's a translated being, and they would find out she's translated. She cannot be killed. She cannot die.
And that's what she thinks.
Yes.
Okay.
She
And she's been telling you that.
Yes. And Gabe too.
Okay.
He heard this, not just me. This isn't coming. I love her to death. This is killing the officer.
Oh, I can understand.
Our 13th anniversary next month. We've been at a great marriage. All of a sudden, the last month it just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost connection.
Only if Lori could benefit Scooter, I think. It would be poor me, my son. Because her children are pawns. Everybody's a pawn to Lori. She's made that pretty. She's made a case for it. She's proved it a lot of times. She is totally. And so it's like, do we mistake them for being smart or just super, super manipulative? Like a lot of people are like, oh, they're intelligent. I'm just saying from looking at other cases and other criminal minds, it's just, are they intelligent or are they just super, super manipulative? And I'm echoing Megan because it all stems from undealt with childhood trauma, undealt with, trauma, period. Like it's hurt people in that sense because I don't know, at least that's a pattern that's been pretty apparent to me. Just manipulating, right? Hey, Tanya, welcome in. Hey, Carolina and Angela, welcome in. Hey, Divergent. I didn't say your name earlier, but I think I pinned one of your comments. But welcome in.
Okay. So has she made any statements about wanting to hurt the children or anything?
Today she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
Oh, not yet.
Okay. And then
a pecking order.
She said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said, I can murder you.
Right there.
Murder you. And she's talking in a spirit.
I will kill you.
Spiritual.
No.
Yeah, right here. Take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Take them. Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards you kids. Anyways, no, not a direct threat. Okay. Oh, so he said not a direct threat. Then she said that she would murder. Wait, I need to hear this.
To hurt the children or anything?
Today she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you.
But then but then he says, no, she said, I can murder you. I can murder you right now. I can murder you. And she said, she's talking in a spirit. Will kill you, spirit. No, she's talking physically. I will kill you because you're not Charles and nobody will care. Okay. That is freaking wild.
She said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you. And she's talking in a spirit.
I will kill you.
Spiritual.
No, she's talking physically. I will kill you because you're not Charles and nobody will care.
Okay. So she at this point doesn't think you are her husband?
She thinks I'm Mick Schneider.
Who's Mick Schneider?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's the name she used. I don't know where it came from.
He's getting aggravated.
I'm just like, I'm as bewildered as you are. This is so foreign to me. Normal
and
people.
Louisa said it's foreign to everybody.
This happens. It just drives me. I don't know what to do. I need help, and she needs help. She needs help.
What's going on? Why is she here and you're not here, or are you staying here with her?
Long story. She's
Yeah.
had kind of a break from me, Melanie. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married tomorrow now, in the past.
You think she's what?
Married tomorrow now, at the top of the temple.
Angel, LDS. Angel.
They don't
Right there. That's also like, hey, Let's haul her ass in. Get that wheelchair from MCSO. She needs it right now. Pronto. Stat. You know? Ugh.
And she knows when the second coming is happening next year, so does the prophet.
Okay.
He knows,
She
knows
don't.
about it. She meets with her own aunt, Jesus Christ, face to face in the temple every day. I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad lately. She's had a break.
Absolutely.
She says, I'm Nick Schneider. I've taken over Charles' body, and Charles will get killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it with my priest, with my power. She does priesthood blessing. She does.
So who's Nick?
He's trying to say all the words that will grab her attention, you know, like that's what I just caught. I mean, everything out of his mouth is alarming. Since he walked up to her. She's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Schneider, taking over Charles's body, and Charles been killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it with my priesthood work or whatever, my priest work, my power. She's does priesthood blessings. She does so who's Nick Schneider? He's like, oh my God, my heart just, he is at his freaking wit's end. And this is in January of 2019. This is still T-minus a month and a half, or actually this is towards the end of the last day of January. So, I mean, just, you know, like it's the end is nigh. And he's just at his wit's end, but still he got her a house, $4,500. I'm just saying. And then $4,000 a month spending money. And then, just here, you still have the credit cards. All you got to do is just, you know, take care of our boy. Basically. And I feel Charles included Tylee. He referred to her as his daughter. He loved her, but Lori made that impossible. Lori makes every effing thing impossible. I would, oh my God. It's like we got to see that firsthand for sure. You know, ooh, I never looked at her in this light that I look at her in now. Of course, you know, not since 2019, but holy cow. Ugh, it's sickening.
Nick Schneider. Okay.
That's who I'm supposed to say.
Okay. Right. Okay. So he's not at church. He's not.
She took my truck from the airport. So thanks. She took my truck from the airport last night when I flew in. She canceled my flight. I had to buy a ticket. I took him home. I've got a 6-year-old with special needs.
Right. And he stays at school somewhere.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So now she knows I'm here. She's going to go get me.
Okay.
Thank you, Beach Mom. I hate to copy and paste that, but I can't.
I'm going to talk to you about the year 2019. Do you recall the first time you saw JJ in 2019?
It was right around the 1st of February.
Okay. Where was that?
In Chandler, or in the Phoenix area, one of the Maricopa County.
Okay. So is Chandler in the Phoenix, the general Phoenix area?
It's a suburb, yes.
Okay. Do you recall how long you stayed there?
That time was about probably 2 weeks.
Okay. Was there a specific reason you had come out to visit that time?
Yes. Charles reached out that he and Lori had split up, that she was gone, and he was totally very distraught. So I went there
you go.
I went to help him with JJ.
So, Ms. Woodcock, you had stated that you were in the process of saying that you were out there because Lori was gone.
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware of where Lori was?
No,
To your knowledge, was Charles aware of where Lori was?
no,
Okay.
She was flying on a
Did you
broomstick.
see Lori at all while you were there?
no.
Okay. You
She was
stated you
killing
were there
everybody
for
with
a
her
couple
powers.
of weeks. Did you take JJ with you after that at all?
Yes, I brought him home to Louisiana with me. Charles needed to go to work, and we were ready to have him in Louisiana.
Okay. Approximately how long did you have him in Louisiana?
Probably a week, maybe two. We during that time frame, from like February 1st till the end of March, we were back and forth to Louisiana to Phoenix, to Louisiana to Phoenix with JJ. Just
making it happen.
trying to help Charles get things squared away.
And we were busy at work too.
At any time, did you become involved in helping Charles with his business?
Yes,
When was that?
in February of 2019.
So in the same time period we've been discussing.
Yes.
Why did you start helping Charles with his business?
He asked me to help him out because he was very distraught with Lori, for one thing, for their separation, and he just needed help. I helped him with his payroll, his accounts payable, receivable. My husband Larry and I owned a business, so I was very familiar with the workings of a business or being self-employed, and so I did what I could to help him.
Okay. And so through this help, did you have access to Charles' banking information?
Yes.
Did you have access to his emails?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have access to other financial information?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Charles Vallow have a life insurance policy?
Yes.
Did you ever have an occasion to speak with him about that policy?
Yes.
When was that?
In February of 2019, he approached me and said he wanted to name me the beneficiary. It was $1 million policy.
What I don't get is Lori, and like all of a sudden, so she finds out that she's not receiving this $1 million payout after they murder Charles. Two bullets in his chest, Chad. Remember that? Yeah. And then automatically there's a conversation, of course, between Lori and Chad where, Chad's like, maybe he changed it. And anyways, you can't change it after you're dead, dumbass. It's like, come on. And then, but they automatically say that Kay changed it. And I'm just like, do you hear yourselves? Because Lori says the policy owner can change it at any time. He don't have to have anybody else's, approval or whatever. And so how did Kay all of a sudden, become the bad guy, dark zombie, Rhonda, right? How, if she just explained the process to Chad and then is like, yeah, demonizing mom, I guess she sensed that mom was going to be a problem for her.
And he wanted to name me beneficiary and take Lori off.
Okay. Did you ask him to name you as the beneficiary?
No.
Okay. During that conversation, did you commit to doing anything with that life insurance policy money if you were the beneficiary?
Yes.
What did you commit to do with that money?
To finish raising JJ because Lori didn't want him anymore.
And did you commit to doing anything else with that money?
Yes. He had asked me to give half of it to his 2 adult sons, which I did.
Okay.
Anybody asked him if she did it in January of 2020?
The state asked you, or Mr. Wood asked you about why you became concerned about the whereabouts of JJ, and you said because Lori didn't want him anymore. Is that right? Did you remember saying that?
Yes.
Okay. And what led you to believe that Lori did not want JJ anymore?
Because when a mother leaves their child. She left her husband and she left her child for 58 days. And I know it was 58 days because Charles counted every day and would tell me every day. She never reached out to JJ. She didn't reach out to Charles.
Yep, I think so. You think so too, Beach Bum? I'm glad I'm not alone. Oh, yeah. Common sense. It's not so common. It is a superpower.
Thank you for calling Legal in General. My name is Kevin. May I have your policy number?
Kevin, my name is Charles Vallow. I'm the insured and the agent. I don't have it. I'll give you my social. Can you please give me the policy number? I'm doing a beneficiary change.
Okay, what's your social, please? Okay. Now, what is your password? Just I have a password.
I don't have a password.
Okay, it's telling me that I need to authenticate a password, sir.
I don't have a password.
Now, it turns out that Charles didn't remember putting a password on his account. That's how stressed out he was. So for a while, a lot of us were under the assumption that he put, that Lori put a password, because I was like, oh, I hope they have, a recording of whomever she got to call in and pose as Charles. And it says this in the FOIA docs. You just have to kind of read it, further. It's way at the very end of the report, 1,108 pages. And so, I mean, when I found that out, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So, but it just goes to show how chaotic. I think that's the most appropriate word, because Lori is chaos. 100%, 144,000%.
I'm just changing my beneficiary. I don't know what I don't ever remember setting up a password ever.
Okay.
And I'm the agent and the insured.
Okay. Yeah, I would still need to verify that password no matter who you are, because we have to go ahead and...
I don't have a password. How do I get a new password when I never set up one? Can you please tell me that? I know you're doing your job. This is just frustrating for me. I need to change the beneficiary. How do I do it when I don't have a password? I've never set up one. I don't know how else to do one. What do I do? All I need is my policy number.
Okay. I can't send you anything until I actually get that verified. So
you can. So I can't do anything with my policy. I could die today. You would give anybody the money because I don't have a password.
Words.
Well, no, that's not.
Tell me what to do to get this done.
Okay. Hold on 1 second for me, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. And when did I set up a password?
Well, that was recent. It looks like on my note here.
I mean, how recent?
It looks like
6 months, 2 years?
2/20. No, February 20th.
Okay,
This year.
Somebody else is calling on my account. That's fraud.
I don't know, sir. I mean, that's the thing is that I don't know.
I do know. I have a call in on this policy.
And then just think 2 years later, February 20th, 2020, because me and Jason were supposed to get married on that day. But Lori was extradited that day from Hawaii to Idaho. Out of Hatawatawa.
In a long time.
Yeah, if you have concerns about that, then, you need to supply some form of proof or something. But yeah, that's, I'll be able to do that. But you can request request in writing.
My wife left me 30 days ago. She's taken a ton of my money. I don't know what she's doing on this account, but it's fraud. I'm the guy. I'm Charles Vallow. I'm the insured and the owner of the policy. Correct? And I need to know what to do right now today to change my beneficiary to my sister.
After learning that Charles was dark, at some point, did you hear the term castings?
Yes.
Turn my ear off.
Lori said that she wanted us to meet and she wanted to teach us something, and she also said that she wanted us to do a casting out on Charles.
Did you, in fact, end up meeting up with Lori?
Yes. We had a meeting at my house. It was late March of 2019.
Good to see you, Humanimal.
Do you know where Lori was living at that time?
She was living in the
She was
sky
in Hawaii.
on her pedestal.
At some point, did she talk to you more about what it meant if the evil spirit came in, like where the actual person went?
So when a dark spirit would take over, the original spirit of the person would go into the spirit world.
And
And here is Melanie, and she's going to lay it out how the body's supposed to die. The body has to die. And this is a concept that I've seen over and over and over again that I keep forgetting to bring it up. But the same thing with David Hamblin and that whole crew, allegedly, and with Ruby, Frankie, and mainly Jody Hildebrandt for sure is where I've seen this before with her, because Adam Steed, one of her clients back in the day that she ruined, basically ruined a big part of his life back then. She said that the relationship has to die in order for it to be reborn. Hence, that's why she separated the men from the women. I guess it was dual purpose for Jody Hildebrandt, I'm sorry. I feel it's like Tourette's. I'm so sorry. Scissors. Anyways, that's why. Okay. Scissors. That's all I'm gonna say. But the same thing with these people, the same thing with Hamlin, in my opinion, is the body has to die in order to be reborn, which I don't know. Whatever. And that's kind of the same. Y'all don't laugh at me, okay? But that's kind of the same theme that I'm picking up on, I guess, from this whole ushering in the new order, okay? It's not Christ, okay? Obviously it's not going to be Christ. But the earth has to die in order for rebirth. Do you see what I'm saying? Symbolically, if that makes any sense. Probably not. It probably does not make sense. I feel stupid.
That's what she originally told you.
That's right.
And did she tell you she received that information from Chad?
Yes.
Hey.
So was your understanding the body of that person was still alive?
Correct.
It just had a different dark spirit in it now.
Correct.
What did Lori originally talk to you about? Was there a way to do something to help that person?
She would try to do like a casting out of an evil spirit, and try to convince the spirit to the evil spirit to leave.
Yeah.
Do you know where she got the concept of casting from?
I believe she got it from energy work.
Oh.
At some point, did you learn if Charles had been designated a different name?
Yes.
What was that name?
Ned Snyder.
Do you know where that name came from?
Chad told that to Lori.
I suspect that this is, and I mean, I haven't gone really far into the research into this area yet, but there were other weird names like this. And, Chad, with what was found in his garage, when Nate Eaton was walking through it the day before they demolished it, there was this saying or whatever, and it was on a wall in his red barn. Okay. And it wasn't moved. Nate said, "Oh, I think somebody moved that, but no." Because Huggy Bear had sent me some photos of the Daybell house property whenever it was for sale. And I mean, like while Emma and Joe Murray were, residing there after Chad got convicted. And anyways, it says something about Calfway. It was weird. And so I did that while Nate was alive, showing us doing the walkthrough through Chad and Tammy's house. I have a headache. And I Googled it because I was like, that is weird. Weird, and it brought me to what's called Agrippa, Agrippa. And it was like, I don't know. It was like I don't know what to call it. Wicca. I don't know. Anyways, it wasn't the Book of Mormon, and it wasn't the Bible, and it wasn't the Pearl of Great Price, and it was not the Word of Wisdom. So but wasn't even the Book of Mormon dictionary. It was nothing to do with it. It was what Chad was doing, practicing the dark arts. I mean, for sure. Oh, but like, okay. So I haven't gone into this though, but it's like grimoires or demonology. Their sigils is what I'm trying to say. So I'm having to do some more research into this area, and it's just a little intimidating because I'm just like, I never in my wildest dreams believed in magic. Okay, cool. Nice trick. I went and saw Chris Angel with my mom in Las Vegas, watched him, do magic tricks. I was probably getting MK Ultra'd right there, but anyways. But like, I never was like, okay, yeah, that's real. I can do it. I'm just like, oh, let me learn that trick. Pick a card, any card you choose, that kind of thing. But with this, when you take all the things that they're doing, literally doing, and it sounds like they're making it up. It sounds like it's the most foreign freaking ideas you've ever heard in your entire existence. But then when you think about it, and with what we don't know everything. I don't care. We got a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are not shared with us, if you know what I'm saying, on a larger scale. Plus, we're only one person, so we don't know it all. I don't care how many internet servers you have behind you. Okay, you don't, and we don't. So that being said, Melanie, Boudreaux, Lori, for sure. We're so obsessed with remote viewing. Charles is blocking my gifts, Lori said. Melanie was obsessed with it. Brandon testified too. And then allegedly Tom Harrison was teaching it to Chad. Chad was then teaching it to his pupils, okay? To Lori. And anyways, so all them, okay? So what I'm saying is we only have 2 murderers convicted, but we don't have the quote unquote cult leader. Chad, he's not a cult leader. He's not even a damn man. But so what I'm saying is, I don't think that Chad, so in so many words, like, I don't think he has a following. I mean, he's got probably people who are doing the same things that he's doing and maybe sharing ideas at one time, influencing people, things like that. But it's this idea, it's these beliefs, that's the widespread thing, because it's not just Chad. So you put Chad and Lori in prison, it's still going. So they're contagious. It's like, oh my God. So how do you stamp that out is what we need to focus on, in my opinion. That's how I see it. So I'm not going to sit here and say, because people tend to discount that too whenever you say that Chad, because I'm thinking about this, that's all I do. And you kind of have to reassess as you're going. And I've noticed that when you say that, Chad and Lori, they have Chad and Lori's beliefs, they have followers, well, they're in jail. People just, okay, well, they're, okay, that's going to die out one day. They're not a threat is what I'm saying, but that's not quite it. It's these ideas, and they are rampant, especially up and down the Wasatch Front, where we had Bishop Glenn L. Pace come forward with the Bishop, the Glenn Pace memo back in the early 90s, late 80, 89 or 90. And that was never supposed to ever reach public awareness ever. It was intended for the hierarchy of the church and the committee who, was behind tasking him with that, tasking the bishop with that. And I want you to know that whenever Bishop Glenn L. Pace was finished conducting his interviews on these victims along the Wasatch Front, claiming that they had witnessed sacrifices, human sacrifices, human sacrifices, had even been forced to participate in them. The same kind of ritualistic abuse, look it up, that was happening. And so that never got stamped out. It just was like, label it as satanic panic or a secret combination. And then everybody turns their noses up at it, just like they do with adrenochrome, just like they do with Satanism, just like they do with human trafficking, with all the things that just aren't comfortable. I know I was going somewhere with that, but it's a conspiracy theory. It's a QAnon. It's Pizzagate. It says something. There'll be new ones. Trust me. Come on. We got the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Don't you know? Says the guy who had an election hoax. But anyways, I'm not political. I just don't support anybody who, and I was disappointed just like you. Don't put your, we have to kind of put our, because they don't want us to want to vote. Okay. They're just like, oh, okay. They don't want us to vote. But then again, I don't want to platform them. I don't want to endorse anybody because I don't believe in the politics. They're invented. They're not real. It's just a way to pit you against me and to keep us battling about stupid shit when it has nothing to do with child abuse, the egregious child abuse that's going on, the senseless cult murders, because it's been happening since antiquity. Okay, it has, and it's not solved yet. Why? Secret combinations, secret handshakes, oaths, things of that sort. It's thank you, Michelle. I don't know. It's just to distract us, and it's just all it does is fuel their psychopathic tendencies, their behaviors, period. And so, just like right here on YouTube, okay, if you just kind of look at it through this context, if I enjoy a creator, if they bring some kind of understanding, knowledge, if I learn something from the content or just being relating to that person, then my vote is the subscribe button, right? This is me endorsing this creator, Crime Timelines, for providing this 7-hour and 40-minute edited, very nicely work, okay, that I didn't have to do. I'm enjoying it, and we're enjoying it together. I say enjoying, you know what I mean, right? I didn't have to do it, is what I'm saying. So it brought ease to my life. But so if they piss me off, or if not piss me off, but if they, if I see that we don't align, or maybe they're taking advantage of some other people, and I'm not about that. I'm really not. Then, even if you're a member of any church, and you're paying tithing because you have to, or not, maybe they just pass an offering plate. But there's like always conditions, but this should not be like, if you visit here, my channel, there's no conditions. Okay. I am who I am. It is what it is. You're either going to love me or like me or not. You know, I mean, it's human. We're going to outgrow each other. We're crossing paths. That's all we're doing. So I appreciate having you here while I have you here, you know? And so if I don't like, and I don't align, and I don't want to support somebody who's trafficking children, who is maligning the citizens of this country and probably others, who is causing chaos, so to speak, then all I have to do is unsubscribe, and it's that easy. I just say, nah, I'm gonna put my chip somewhere else. Okay, thank you. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to pick a side, you know? And anyways, but they make it so political, and they make every one of these issues that are just basic human, like human rights. They turn them into a political idea. Influence, boy, they got us too. I mean, whew, holy cow. Remember whenever, Sound of Freedom came out and everybody was like, oh my God. And then they just throw these little, and I say they, meaning Tim and friends. All they have to do is plant a seed. Okay. Because we want to believe in our fellow human, right? And you should be able to, but we don't live in a world like that. That's just reality. We need to base ourselves in reality more. and try to see the end game. What's their end game? You know, why? And anyways, but there's some rumors, that, oh, this theater's not letting us see it. Why not? It's well, going and watching a effing movie is not going to solve the problem. Okay. But it solves the problem for Tim and friends all the way to the effing bank. Okay. I mean, he was like, he's like McDuck or Screw. What is that on? Oh my gosh, I used to watch it all the time. The Ducks, and he would dive into the money. Anyways, it's like that, and that's so. I don't want to support somebody who is harming people. But anyway, so that's what I mean. And so I subscribe because I appreciate it. Even if I'm never going to see them again, what does it hurt? It's my vote. It's my endorsement. I endorse this campaign. Anyways.
Did Lori explain how the casting would work?
Thank you.
Yes, she said that we needed to hold hands, and she gave everyone a different part to say, and we were to just cast out the evil spirit.
And to be clear, when you're doing the casting, was Charles
Right,
present?
Margarita.
No.
Was anything physically being done to Charles at that time?
Yes.
He wasn't there. No touching of Charles.
No.
Do you know where Lori learned about castings from?
Right.
In this way?
Yes.
And that tells you everything. I'm going to stop right there because Carolina brings up a good point. I was just thinking about it today or the other day. This platform here and others just like it, because we know, follow the money. Okay. They have us saying grape, and they have us saying schmurderer, and they have us saying, what else? I mean, I say red rum sometimes, sex, trafficking. We can't say these words. Why? Does it hurt their feelings? Because they're the same kind of people who are just like Lori, where she she's acts as her own lawyer, even because she wants to confront all the people. She wants to get the tea. she wants to find out who and what was said about her because she's only worried about herself. Same for those in the upper echelons, I mean, that's my observance at least. And I'm just like, oh my God. But like I said, it's like I'm inverted the way I look at things because that's what I trained myself to do to try to pick up on the language. I may not understand, the pecking order in the Book of Mormon and their beliefs, but I can pick up what they're putting down for sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this is used right here. This phrase right here is used and it really means this. Okay. I'm a God. She's an exalted being. So I've learned that means that she got her calling and election made sure. That means that she could have possibly, her and Chad, could have possibly gotten the second anointing, which exalts a couple in this life. And they don't have to, they're basically, they're going to heaven for sure. One of the Mormon heavens, the celestial champagne room is what I call it. So, I mean, and the very words that Lori said to my uncle that he reported to the police just now, you saw, he included them in his divorce papers, that she thinks she's a god, she's the leader of the 144,000, and she's ushering in the second coming of Jesus Christ. It's going to happen next year. So whenever, like, just digging into these people and I'm talking like Glenn Beck, all these people, not just these people, but like the whole family. Okay. Like all the way. And I mean, I just kind of study, and like the Constitution's hanging by a thread. Well, that's secret. I mean, that's more of like a skull and bones type of thing. I think y'all think that Glenn Beck could be a skull and bone? Probably not, huh? But he sure is obsessed with skull and bones. He wears them a lot. Just saying. Anyways. But so when I came to learn what that means in Lori language, and not just Lori, because it's LDS language, it's LDS speak, it's Mormonese, Mormon speak, inside speak. It really means that they are accelerationalists and that they are trying to make the so-called, like, to people who are unassuming, okay, it looks like, oh my God, that bitch just said she saw Jesus in the damn temple, if you know what I mean. And you're just like, I know, and you know that that's not true. She knows it too. But that's the code, that's the language, and she knows she took an oath in the temple to never reveal that, or she has to herself. And anyway, so, and I remember screaming in my head whenever I went to Lori's trial in Boise in 23. And I mean, I was sitting like maybe 10 feet away from her. I don't know. I'm a suck at math and distance. But I'm sitting there and I'm just screaming in my head at her like, are you effing serious? We are here. You are here. You're sitting in the hot seat. Why don't you just say what you know? Why don't you just say what happened to you spiritually, so to speak, with your church, with your leaders? Obviously you got sealed to another man who was married. You were married. Okay. We know y'all don't care, but you would think that they would care. Okay. Because they know everything. They got the genealogy. Okay. To back it up. They got all our genealogy. Anyways, they're saving it, and they're saving our genealogy and all their trillions, billions, trillions of dollars for that rainy day, aka the second coming of Jesus Christ. And you're like, Krisha, why do they need money? I mean, Jesus comes back. I'm not worried about no damn money. Jesus did not. His face is not on any of our money. Okay. Because no, that's not. So just think about that. Like, they don't. So what are they ushering in? What? Why is the church transitioning from Moroni statues, on Google Maps and other maps, I'm sure, by now. Why are they trying to appeal to a larger, wider Christian audience? Why? Are they trying to rule the world? Joseph Smith wrote the United Order. That's what he called it back in his day. Because this has been going on for a really long time. I'm not an expert in this, but I'm not a dumbass. And when I realized that, oh my God, these people are fear-mongering because they believe that they have some special knowledge, Tim Beller says it, special intel of the second coming. And they'll share it with you at a cost, because we know that in New Zion and New Jerusalem, in the new world to come, that the Wi-Fi password there is too many kids, meaning there are no kids allowed, and at least in the 144,000 group. Okay, so April Raymond was even asked if she could leave her kids behind. I'm surprised, Melanie Boudreaux, that's what she signed on to. That's what she, there was a text message exchange or text exchange between Lori and Chad. I found it the other day and I had, but I'd have to go find it. But it was Melanie. Actually, it was Lori saying, "Oh, I love the message that you sent, Mel B." Something like that. And Lori's like, so she's coming around to it, the idea, whatever was proposed to her, basically. And I'm thinking that Chad pitched the idea like, hey, you can become a member of the 144,000 translated beings, girl. And, but your kids, they can't come. Or maybe it's a buy-in. I'm just positing things. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's like, okay, is that the down payment to get into this New Jerusalem idea? Makes you wonder. Makes me wonder. I'm like, what the hell are these crazy people doing? But they're fear-mongering people. Julie Rowe causing all that unrest, and people have lost retirements. People have lost family members. People have been ostracized. People have been excommunicated. People have lost so many money, dignity, pride, all those, their faith in God because of the things like what Lori, Chad, Julie, Melanie, Zalema, they're not duped. And if so, they deserve it. These people do. I'm just saying, because if they were duped, I think we'd see more humanity. I think we would feel that, we would see that in their actions, and we have not seen that in their actions at all. Melanie Gibbs tried, but she was faking. She's like, oh, hey, Kay. That's all she wanted. Just kind of like Ruby and Jody. Ruby just was like, okay, as long as Jody pleads out before me, because Jody, the crimes that Jody's alleged to have done, I don't look as bad. So she's not the worst Mormon in her mind. Ruby Frankie thinks that, I'm sure. It's not genuine. Okay. They don't really mean it. And nobody else has really just said, oh my God, that's called repent. It's like repenting. That's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, that's being duped, when you find out you've been just got. These people, they're still doing it. And if not, they're too prideful to even get over themselves. Okay. So there's a problem there, in my opinion. But yeah, so Lori basically told my uncle that she was, part of this team, okay, that they were recruiting for in the damn temple, Jason Melanie Gibb. And that's why Lori is so stoked. And then she was told that her salvation was guaranteed, that she automatically goes to heaven. So, or maybe she'll go to a lesser heaven, but they only have to do a little time there, and then kind of like she's doing here. And then she'll be exonerated and she gets to move up to the next level kingdom. Yeah, that's how that works. It's very sad. People planning their afterlives, you know, like that's how under pressure these people are, and misled and just wrong. Wrong. It's not by your works. It's by your fruits and your heart. It's by your intent. It's by the way you treat people. Even after you're convicted. It's like, no, we're doing it all wrong. They're, you know what I'm saying? And nobody has the answers. Nobody. Sorry. But it's also very empowering because nobody does. Nobody's getting out of here alive either. You know, and another observation that I saw, you know, throughout this time that I didn't realize till years later was like all these preppers, you know, it's not just a prepper thing. It's not just a energy healing thing. No, it's getting exalted by your leadership in secret. Okay. There's your fucking problem. That's problem numero uno. Okay. Then, I mean, that's also your role models. So, I mean, that's how we can have soaking. Google it and then don't laugh too hard. But that's the loopholes that these people are finding because it's, oh my God, you can't even freaking just be human and then just forgive yourself and repent for it. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'll do better. Just telling yourself reflection, self-reflection, you know, no, I'm perfect. We're a true church. You're a true prophet. And we have the answers and nobody else does. Okay. So long as it's translated correctly. Stupidest, most narcissistic thing I've ever heard. Almost. But anyways. And so I've been reading this this guy who he goes by One Who Is Watching. Some people will know who he is. But reading the stuff, because he's kept up with this movement, I'll just say, in the Mormon church. And so I just want to read this part right here. And so this is also from and it's a paper he wrote, The True Biblical Profile of Joseph Smith and the Unsanitized History of the LDS Restoration Movement, version 2. So I'm just going to move on to pass it up. Oh, and again, let's see. That way y'all can see what I'm doing. So right here at the bottom, I mean, he's just like, boom. This is why, anyways, about 47 canonized revelations were received during this time frame, and the Lord referred to the restored church as the Church of Christ. The two most significant revelations given during this period of time were section 20 containing the articles of the church and section 42 containing the law of the church. These two revelations were hand copied and taken by the first missionaries to read to new prospects. They contain the full and complete documentation of all saving ordinances necessary for salvation and to the highest degree, the highest heaven, of God's glory in the celestial kingdom. Repentance, baptism, the Lord's Supper, and the spiritual birth constituted the full array of ordinances required to gain entrance into the highest kingdom of salvation. No other secret handshakes, oaths, or associated penalties or ordinances of any kind were necessary to gain entrance into the highest kingdom of God. One simply needs to receive the spiritual rebirth that comes from the baptism of fire and the Holy Ghost. As we address future parts of Joseph's ministry, it will be further documented that the church did go through at least 3 separate and distinct name changes. Oh, they're going through it again. During this first time period, the newly restored church in New York is commanded to migrate to Ohio, where it will receive the law of the gospel. containing the law of consecration and the celestial law of monogamy and the associated priesthood endowment. The first period ends with the special conference at the Morley, I think that's how you say it, Morley Farm, in which the third and highest priesthood, the Melchizedek priesthood, which is Jesus's priesthood, referred to in section 124 as the fullness. And as you can see, some I picked up on a long time ago. Fullness is spelled with one L, and it makes a difference because they interchange them. This is exaltation, in my opinion. When you see one L, fullness, exaltation. Higher law. Lori's living the higher law. As the fullness of the priesthood was restored to the earth. At this event, Lyman White became the first person during Joseph's public ministry to have the heavens parted and to see the Father and the Son. During this first, anyways, I think it'll make more sense. During this first period of time, every ordinance of salvation necessary for entry into the highest kingdom of God was on the earth. The restored church was restored in its fullness, right there, okay, with the full priesthood. There were no missing temple rituals needed for exaltation. There were no missing secret handshakes, oaths, or covenants that were necessary for the highest possible salvation. There were no secret marriage laws that override and contradict the celestial marital law of monogamy given in section 42 and 49. The Lord had revealed numerous times that the fullness of the gospel was on the earth during this period of time. And it says list of major events and revelatory declarations. And so he just cites all the things like here, 7 elders. Yeah, so these are, you can find these on Wikipedia, which ones have been fulfilled and which ones have not. But you'll see right there, it says, where the hell did it go? Okay. Almost like I get too close to it. Oh yeah, 7 elders commissioned to gather the elect. Just saying. And then it says commandment to gather to Ohio. Done. Anyways, I've underlined these. So those that receive the higher law, as Lori has said in her interviews, and don't live it. Okay, those that receive the higher law and don't live it are not disciples of Christ. Right. And then everlasting covenant, which is polygamy. And it also guarantees you, in my opinion, in Mormonism, or my view of this movement and how I see it working with Lori and manipulation in the scriptures. Okay. Manipulating scriptures. And they're not the ones manipulating them, is what I'm saying. They're manipulated. Okay. Okay, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Those that receive the higher law and don't live it are not disciples of Christ. Everlasting covenant has been given. Baptism and law of consecration, lawful to have one wife. Elders previously commanded to gather. Melchizedek priesthood restored at Marley Farm. The second time period illustrated above began in June 1831 with the restoration of the fullness of the priesthood. It ended towards the end of 1834 during the year that the saints officially terminated their attempt to live the law of consecration. Both the church in Jackson and the church in Kirtland had cumulatively broken their covenants of consecration, which resulted in the fulfillment of Christ's prophecy that the Gentiles would reject the fullness of the gospel. Quote, the covenants being broken through transgression by covetousness and feigned words. Therefore, you're dissolved as a united order with your brethren. Okay. The greatest amount of light and revelation came during the first 2 periods in the 5-part time frame that is being presented. The graphic below illustrated how the Church of Christ was initially restored, followed by the calling of the inner church, the Church of God, that resulted in the restoration of the highest priesthood at the Morley Farm. After breaking the covenant, the church was renamed the Church of the Latter-day Saints and was given the preparatory gospel of Abraham. On my birthday, too, on May 3rd. Me and Jeffrey Lundgren. and Gypsy Rose's mom. Anyways, and so it's listing of the major events. So every one of these, this I don't know, time periods, I guess he goes back through it, but I just kind of was breezing through it. And I mean, all their stuff is laced with all this stuff. But he's not in agreement with the church, but he talks like it. Okay. Like he is a Mormon, but he's not. Okay. So the gathering of the saints began in Kirtland, Jerusalem, not New Jerusalem, but Jerusalem. See also mystical. Yeah, that's a good paper too. It says leading elders' names recorded in the book of the names of the sanctified. That's the book of life. Chad had the book of life. Well, as above, so below, because there's the book of death. Okay. And that's where Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, Joe are in their book. And I think it's handed from up high than Chad and Lori. I think they were assigned these missions. Anyways. Leading elders' names recorded. Okay. So leading elders' names recorded in the book of the names of the sanctified and receive other comforter. What? The second comforter? Not the first one, the other one. Second. Same thing with Denver Snuffer. Same thing with Mike Stroud. Same thing over and over. Probably with the LeBarons. Probably with the Laffertys, who were, they went to the School of the Prophets. Okay. So this has been happening. And every time there's a falling out or, we got to distance ourselves. There you go. Another sect is born of Mormonism. That's my theory. Okay. The Lord reveals why the elect failed to redeem Zion. This is one of Lori's lines. The wheat and tares needed to be mingled. Chad's line. The marvelous work will be conducted. That's one of their words. Under Joseph through Frederick and Sidney. We need to know who and what we worship. See fullness of the Father, the law of consecration. Okay, anyways. Let's see. The third period of the time begins with the discontinuance of consecration by the saints, which, according to modern revelation, constitutes the rejection of God's law. Section 41 clearly states that those who reject the law of God are not his disciples. Quote, he that receiveth my law and doeth it, the name is my disciple. And he that saith he receiveth it and doeth it not, the same is not my disciple, and shall be cast out from among you, unquote. Section 51 supports Section 41. God's people are to be cut off if they aren't organized according to his law. So they're not just saying people like Chad and Lori, they're saying basically the church. Hearken unto me, saith the Lord your God, and I will speak unto my servant Edward Partridge, right, in a pear tree, and given unto him directions, for it must needs be that he receive directions how to organize his people, for it must needs be that they organized according to my laws. If otherwise, they will be cut off. These amazing declarations leave very little wiggle room for apologists to claim the true church is still on earth. Those of the wicked who intentionally did not live the law of consecration after receiving it are to be cast out from among those of the faithful that live it. Okay. When all the saints are cumulatively unable to live it, they are cut off from the designated consecrated place of gathering. When the saints break their covenant of consecration, they reject the fullness of the gospel. This lays the foundation for understanding an amazing event that took place towards the end of 1834. Anyways, all right. Although the saints had fallen from the grace of God, they had retained his mercy, fulfilling ancient. Those are, anytime you hear ancient prophecies or ancient whatever, I'm like, some bullshit. Okay. And being a type of the atonement that Moses and Aaron provided for the children of Israel. Instead of ushering in the dispensation of the fullness of times, the gospel of Abraham was secretly, ushered in containing the preparatory gospel and the law of carnal commandments. That's Chad and Lori. The secret event that took place in the Kirtland Temple ushered in an ancient dispensation that would put the saints under the Old Testament covenant of mercy. The atonement statute in Leviticus had been a prophetic enactment of a future event. That's why that's why we're sacrificing and shit. Joseph had told the saints that the quote, "The Lord has revealed to me something new must be done for the salvation of the church," unquote, which resulted in the completion of missionary related endowments that would prepare the leading elders to take the gospel to the world in the third watch, whatever. And also the restoration of the Abrahamic gospel. Oh, right here. Washings and ordinances performed in temple. That's some washing and anointings. God remembers his covenant with other remnants of Israel. The fourth book. Okay, let me see. So it's like they have a chance, and then okay, here's Church of Zion, which is the Church of the Firstborn. Okay, just different terminology. Different. They interchange. Is all they do. Okay. Section 112 is given to the 12 apostles. Okay, so leadership, who were in a state of apostasy at the time. It promised that after their sins and temptations, the Lord would eventually feel after them and heal those who would not harden their hearts. It declared that all flesh had been corrupted, all, and that darkness over the minds of all people. Section 113 was given in March 1838 with a prophecy of encouragement taken from Isaiah foretelling that eventually the righteous portion of the Latter-day Saints would once again be gathered out of their scattered condition and put on the authority of the priesthood, which they had lost. It prophesied that they one day would return to the Lord from whence they had fallen. I was like, oh shit, they fallen angels. The Nephites, Nephilim. I don't know. Right, madly in love with Jesus. Confirm that for me. Was the first section 115 was the first time in a published revelation that God had reinserted the name of Christ into the name of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, calling it the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Don't forget the president, the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the corporation of the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Stupid. Extra. He differentiated it from the Church of Zion, or you could say Church of the Firstborn here. Okay, same thing. By defining the name to be referring to those saints who were in a scattered condition among the Gentiles because they had not gathered to the designated lands of consecration. Cities of light. Safe and happy. Oh my God, I just went blank. Places of safety. What is it? Refuges? Anyways. All right. It is unclear if the saints or the Lord had inserted the name of Christ back into the name of the Latter-day Saints prior to this time. It is possible that they allowed it to be inserted in far west since the saints were attempting to reconsecrate. Amazingly, oh shit. Megan, if you're here, if you listen, get ready to drink a shot. Amazingly, there were only 3, thus saith the Lord, direct revelations during the last 3.5 years of Joseph Smith's life, with no revelations coming during the last few years. The last major revelation to the church, the last major revelation to the church took place shortly after the saints got settled in Nauvoo. Reminds me of Passions, that soap opera that used to come on. Oh my God. Because I'm like, what the hell? Is there a Nauvoo? First off. Anyways, it was section 124, which acknowledged the offering that Joseph had made in behalf of the saints. And he put in parentheses, probably referring to the atonement offering, which probably took place back at the Kirtland Temple. And this is why I think Lori and Melanie traveled to the Kirtland Temple to meet with Audrey. Maybe to go secure her and Chad so they could be part of the first or second or 50th freaking what is it called? The oh my God, resurrection. I just got too pissed off. Oh my God, stupid. So I don't know if she maybe brought, witchy stuff. I don't know. Just because the kids were dead. And so, well, I don't know where the rest of Tylee is. Do you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing to, and I mean, yeah, that sacrifice talk, the female virgin, to pay for the sins of the ancestors. Remember that? It's in the FOIA docs. Anyways, so yeah, Audrey was showing her the sites. All right. All right. So did she have to go bury something there is what I'm saying. Somebody's messaging me. I hope it's nobody pissed off at me. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Oh, I would love to meet Taz. Wow. Okay, I can't be looking at Joe text. Okay. Whatever. Okay, so right. I'm gonna read this again. It was section 124, which acknowledged the offering that Joseph had made in behalf of the saints, probably referring to the atonement offering, which probably took place back at the Kirtland Temple. Later in the Revelation, it acknowledged that the fullness of the priesthood had been taken away from the saints. I bet they didn't tell their membership. And warned that they were practicing abominations before the Lord. Section 124 promised the saints that if they were obedient, they try. By definition, they think they are. But anyway, so they would not be moved out of their place in Nauvoo, indicating that if they were not obedient, they would have to flee from Nauvoo without redeeming Zion. Yeah, you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Just as they had been forced to flee from Jackson, Kirtland, and the far west. It acknowledged that the saints were still struggling in their condemned state and warned that if they were not obedient, they would bring cursings upon their own heads. This provides a direct prophetic connection to the observation of Isaiah about the cursed saints in the last days, as found in Isaiah 52 and explained in section 124 warned that if the Nauvoo temple was not completed within a sufficient time, in quotes, that the church would be rejected with its dead. It was shortly after the saints settled in Nauvoo that Joseph Smith acknowledged that the saints had been chastened by the Lord for not being obedient to the commandments and departing from his ordinances. Quote, we have been chastened by the hand of God heretofore for not obeying his commands, although we never violated any human law or transgressed any human precept. Yet we have treated lightly his commands and departed from his ordinances, and the Lord has chastened us sore, and we have felt his arm and kissed the rod. Oh, that's nasty, Joe. That's nasty, Joseph. I'll be kissing the rod. Oh my God. Anyways, let us be wise in time to come and ever remember that to obey is better than sacrifice. Oh no. And to hearken than the fat of rams. That's not good. Rams are not a good symbology in this world. Anyway, Joseph and Hiram both felt that the commandment to build the temple and the Nauvoo house was as binding, don't want to be bound, as any others. Quote, the first great object before us and the saints generally is to complete the temple to secure the salvation of the church, unquote. Quote, the Lord has told us to build the temple and the Nauvoo house, and that command is a binding upon us and any other. And that man who engages not in these things is as much a transgressor as though he broke any other commandment. He is not a doer of God's will, not a fulfiller of his laws, unquote. Whatever. So many mental gymnastics, man. I don't even know. I probably lost half of y'all. It's like it's written in scriptures. What's happening here? And I mean, whether I don't care what this guy right here says, I just like his take on it because it's not just repeating everything. He's kind of pointing out things that I understand. I'm just like, oh, okay, I can see how that works in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, so Cindy Rigdon also took the warning of the Lord very seriously that the church would be rejected with their dead if they failed to complete it. He warned the saints that, quote, on it depends the salvation of the church and the world, unquote. This is why it is paramount importance that the prophetic utterance in modern revelation regarding the destruction of the current structure and the rebuilding of an acceptable house in Nauvoo must still take place in the future according to the parable of the redemption of Zion. Okay. This last period, thank God. So many periods. So many men, so many periods, huh? Anyways. This last period of the 14-year administration of Joseph Smith began in January of 1841 with Section 124 and ends in June of 1844 at the death of Joseph and Hiram. Revelation to the church virtually ended with Section 121. No other major doctrinal revelations of any significance came after that, with the possible exception of Section 128 in September 6 of 42. I'm getting hot. Which came to Joseph while he was in jail. Although that revelation is somewhat different than most, with Joseph speaking at times and then quoting the Lord at times, those utterances from the Lord may have been found from previous times. Section 128 acknowledges that the dispensation of the fullness of times had still not been fully ushered in. Passages of scripture and statements from Joseph and Hiram Smith indicated that the dispensation of the fullness, 1L, of times could not be ushered in until the fullness, 1L, of the priesthood was restored and the Nauvoo temple was complete. Quote, more or less, then, unquote, then what had been canonized up to Section 124 cometh of evil. In Section 124, the Lord warns the saints that more or less than what he had revealed in the Book of Mormon and modern revelation up to the time Section 124 was given, quote, cometh of evil. Uh-oh. Here comes your secret combinations. I feel them coming through the door. Oh, yeah. Yep. Look down here. I see secret. I can see. I've read this book. I just don't remember it. Kidding. Okay. So as discussed back in the very first period, the fullness of the gospel had to clearly be restored by June 1831. Every ordinance of salvation had been restored by then and had been documented in sections 20 and 42. This is one of the many reasons we know that section 132 is a false revelation. 132, polygamy, false. Baptism for the dead is still just the ordinance for baptism. It does not add to or take away from any ordinances that had been revealed by June of 1831. Any different or conflicting ordinances and covenants for the living which were added after June of 1831, as contained in sections 20 and 42, constitutes mother effing evil. Okay. Rah. Hence a spiritual wife doctrine. And then Lori walks through the portal door. Right. Okay, so hence the spiritual wife doctrine in section 132 contradict previous revelations and eternal doctrines. They constitute adding more or less than what God had revealed and commanded, and they clearly do not represent a true doctrine or revelation. Or any kind of freaking sanity. Regarding the ancient prophecies, here we go. Watch, that's like a red flag. Just like when they say that Nephi and Moroni are ancient prophets, I'm like, they didn't exist. Okay. I'm just saying. Regarding the ancient prophecies that foretold how secret societies and secret related oaths and covenants would infiltrate all levels of church and state, including the Latter-day Apostate. Here we go, NWO church. This infiltration includes bizarre temple rituals. And I haven't looked at this yet. It says, see Black and White Robes, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. I'm like, oh, I'm going. Yeah, not right now. But anyway, so also see the law of adoption regarding genealogy. In part 3 of this presentation, we will discuss the significance of lectures on faith and how it was inspired doctrine that was created by Sidney Rigdon under the direction of God and his living oracle. It was considered to be scripture, and it was canonized and sustained by the Latter-day Saints. We will identify the major stumbling blocks. That's one of their phrases. They like to use them, stumbling blocks, obstacles, that the inspired content with lectures on faith provided for the Gentiles. We shall see why the Gentiles in the darkened state, y'all are dark, zombies, they were and eventually took the lectures on faith out of the Doctrine and Covenants and began denying and reversing, how about inverting, many of the plain and simple doctrines of the gospel. Between 1836 and 2012, virtually every major doctrine that was revealed through the prophet Joseph Smith has been perverted or totally discarded. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, oh, thank you, because I'm not crazy. Okay. This includes the true nature of God, how we are to worship, and how the true ordinances are to be administered. The scriptures reveal that both celestial and terrestrial law, terrestrial is the plane above us, the heaven above us. We're on celestial, the bottom. Lori and Chad had to get rid of their telestial relatives because they were obstacles, stumbling blocks. And I'd also move to say that they were down payments for them to share that blood, spill that blood, atonement, whatever you want to say. And share with their friends at the gatherings, What's a gathering? Is it a gathering? It doesn't have to be 2 or more, Anyways. All right. So, and the celestial is the highest kingdom of their heaven. Okay. The scriptures reveal that both celestial and terrestrial law will ultimately result in the gift of salvation, which is one of those books that was written by, oh my gosh, Joseph F. Smith, who is actually related to M. Russell Ballard. M. Russell Ballard, I heard. This is just, I heard on the Mormon streets, okay, that Ballard and crew believe that they're descendants of Jesus Christ, aka also, whatever. Also, descendants of Hiram Smith. Hiram Smith was like M. Russell Ballard's great, however many greats, grandpa. And Hiram Smith was actually Joseph Smith's brother. So that's his uncle, Uncle Joe. Anywho. But then it's all about bloodlines. Just know that. That's why they have a cave, a vault, Granite Mountain, with all of our genealogy records in there. And them damn 23andMe tests. Where is it at? There it is. I'm not taking it yet. I'm like, Anyways. Celestial law was created for the elect of God. It is also referred, whoa. Let me back it up. The scriptures reveal that, I already said all that, will ultimately result in the gift of salvation in a kingdom of glory, and their redemption comes before the millennium begins. So in order to have a new millennium, aka second coming of Christ, okay, because that's when the new millennium would begin. And they believe that they have to do all this in order to make Christ come back. Okay. That's already happened though. But anyway, so the only way we're going to be saved around here is if we save ourselves. And I mean that in the most respectful, serious way. Real talk. So you gotta see, don't wait for people to come save you. Don't look for people to follow. Look to them and just be like, cool, I like what they're doing. Appreciate it. And just keep moving forward and doing better by treating people around you with love, respect, compassion, and then move God's work forward, so to speak. It's good morals. It's good for humanity, right? It's the only way we're going to survive, because these freaking psychopaths are going to kill us. And they're doing all kinds of shit and have been. They're just ramping it up. That's all they're doing. And they do it through fear-mongering techniques like, remember them aliens? Remember those things that were flying in the sky back, right around New Year's? And then poof, gone. And then this flooding, I'm sorry. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am just like, I'm one of those people that just kind of consider different. I'm like, like strategizing, and I'm just like, I wonder, because of Lori and Zalema. And I mean, it always goes back to what these hookers were doing in their text messages with one another, hovering over my uncle and my nephew's vehicle, wanting them to crash, trying to make them crash with their powers, trying to kill with their powers, trying to, do the good work of the Lord for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They represent missionaries, if you will. Mercy missionaries. Scary. Okay. And so Chad's not a cult leader, but there is a cult leader, if you know what I'm saying. He also belongs to the Skull and Bones Fraternal Order. But anyways. Okay. Celestial law was created for the elect of God. So Lori and Chad would think that they were the elect of God because of the temple stuff, filling, and practicing polygamy, and Lori saying it's a higher law she's living. Damn. If she's high, I mean, if I messed that up. Anyway, so it is also referred to as the law of Christ. I've never heard that one, so that's interesting. The Book of Mormon also identifies celestial law as the gospel of grace or the gospel of mercy. Now, in Tom Harrison's book, it's called Visions of Glory, 3 Degrees of Glory, Heaven, steps to get them to heaven. Okay, that's what they see in the Tom Harrison scriptures. Okay, in the book Visions of Glory. So, anyways, terrestrial law is also referred to in the scriptures as the law of justice. These 2 laws enable people to come forth and be redeemed in the first resurrection. They're big on this first, second stuff. While those who live celestial law cannot be redeemed until after receiving spiritual therapy for the space of 1,000 years. So those who live celestial law are redeemed in the morning. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to go back and read the document in the FOIA docs, because what I was telling you earlier about how Lori and Melanie Boudreaux flew to, where was it? To go meet Audrey Baratero in Missouri so she could show her the sights. They were talking about sacrificing a virgin female to atone for the sins of the generations before. And I mean, yeah, you can look at it in symbolism all you want. I'm looking at it through reality, and my reality is way better than what Tylee and JJ's reality was. I'll tell you that right now. Here you go. I grabbed a clip of this, and it anyways, and then I'm gonna show you something too. It's just, it's only a 3-second clip, of course, and this is from, the overhead projector from Chad's trial. But when you have an iPhone, you have live photos sometimes, if you have them turned on. Lori did. And it's like, instead of just seeing that picture of Tylee holding JJ and they're arm in arm and Alex is right there, just Lori's taking pictures of her kids, knowing Tylee's not going to either make it home and or they're going to go human hunting that night. I don't know what they're going to do, but it was nothing good. We know that via evidence that Tylee's not here, evidence that her body was found in, I don't know, not even a whole body. Like, it's not even all together. And then she was burned, buried, or dismembered, burned, you know what, sprinkled around. And then JJ, I mean, when I heard Joseph Scott Morgan talk about how earmuffs, okay, earmuffs, trigger. Also, I mean, I should have said that early. Y'all know I come with a trigger warning. When Joseph Scott Morgan, and I didn't see this when it first came out, but on Court TV, he went on and he insinuated that the evidence could possibly lean to the fact that JJ was maybe still alive when he was put, you know, with the duct tape and the plastic bag over his head and then put into the grave, and that could constitute why he had scratch on his face, because he was probably trying to get the bag off his head. And because, you know, you don't bleed after you're dead because your blood's not pumping. And that threw me. Like, I don't know if that's cognitive dissonance or if that's like, oh my God. I don't think I think it's all of the above. It's like a mind fuck. Because that's like the worst part of this to me is wondering what they felt and how all the things that they felt and thought in their very last moments, you know, that is like haunting. And that's why all that, like, any kind of fear or whatever fell away from me when all this happened, because I'm like, you know, I used to be scared to get on planes, but I started getting on planes after all these murders happened, because I was like, fuck it. If those kids and, you know, Tammy and Charles and Joe, if they can endure and have to go through what they had to go through in their last moments, and I can get the hell over myself. Like, that's, I was just like, you know, anyways, like, I can do this. I know that I need to get from point A to point B. I need to get over my fear, you know, because if they went through the unthinkable, the unimaginable, and I can't even, it bothers me. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna play it again. I think it's going backwards though. I think it's in reverse for some reason, because when you do this, oh, it's not gonna let me do it. No. Well, damn it. Because when you go the other way with it, it actually looks like she falls back. And I'm wondering if she's drugged at that point in time, basically. That's my theory. That's all it is, too. And I mean, look, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I experienced, whether it was from the trauma that just, I mean, you're bludgeoned with it. Okay. There's no avoiding it because you don't know it's even coming, you know? And I feel like it opened you up spiritually. And it's like I was super sensitive. I was I was at a heightened state as far as, like, you know, very sensitive to pressure changes and, you know, your ear ringing, you know, just hyper vigilant is what it is. Opened up and immediately, we found out that my Uncle Charles was murdered on July 12th. He was murdered on July 11th. We found out on the 12th. And then the next day, July 13th, I remember telling my mom, I was like, go, please go, hurry, get the hell out of here, go to Phoenix, go stop her from she's going to burn him, and I was just saying cremate him, which she did. And I had these really crazy experiences, that July 13th, I can tell you. And so I was in my mom and Larry's mom. They had an office, and in the front, it was like a mullet. It was, business in front, party in the back. No. But they had a transportation company, and they had like 52 passenger buses, and they had a fleet of vehicles. Okay. And so Jason left with the kids. And so I was at the office / shop in the shop area with the bay doors, and there's a strip club right there, so you could hear it. Okay. And anyways. And so he, he left with the kids. And so I was there along with my thoughts, which is dangerous. But I remember I felt my uncle. He came and visited me. Okay. It wasn't like tangible. I don't know. It was crazy. Okay. I just know that. And he just kept saying to me, hold on, I still haven't done my hair. Okay. Can you tell? Anyways, he kept saying, hold on. God dang it. I don't know. He kept saying, I need to tell you my side of the story. There's two sides of the story. There's, I just need to tell you my side of the story. There's another side of the story. And it was so intense. And I'm an anxious person as it is, and I was just so uneasy, and I was just like, in my mind. Okay. I was just like, okay, you're gonna have to back off. Hello. You're gonna have to back off. You're making me nervous. And I could not breathe. Haven't really been able to breathe since then. But anyways, at that time, I was just like, it didn't dawn on me because I didn't know how any of this crap worked. I didn't invite anything, I sensed it was my uncle and whatever. Okay. He was just murdered. And so I'm just like, whatever. And I remember going home and I watched the freaking Long Island Medium or whatever. I'm like, what the hell you do? I always was taught to ignore it because things have happened before. And I'm just like, if you don't acknowledge it, then it's not there. It didn't happen. Well, anyways, but I didn't even know what to do, how to act, what to say. What do you do? Anyways, but so I just need to tell you my side of the story. There's two sides of the story. Just over and over and over and over again. Okay. Uncle Charles's ghost in my head is very OCD. Okay. Repetition. Just kidding. But, anyways, and I didn't realize till later. I was like, oh my God, I think it's because the reason I couldn't breathe. Of course, I said it made me anxious, right? Hard to breathe when you're anxious. But I also realized that he had 2 bullets in his chest, like Chad Daybell said, kind of hard to, I'm sure it's hard to breathe when you're dead. But I'm just saying it's hard, it's a wound. And I don't know. Anyways, for what it's worth. And so I want to say, that's when feathers just started coming out of nowhere. I literally today, I don't ever go outside and I don't ever cut grass, but I did. And it's very tall back there and push mower. So I can only go so far. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm about to die. And I don't know how I even saw it, but there was a black and white feather. And I was like, of course you need to be outside, right? If you're going to be looking and seeing feathers, probably not going to be on the inside. But I was just like, what the hell? Anyways, that was nice because it's been a while. Because eventually, that communication or that heightened sense of self or just what do you call it? That kind of it fades after a while. For me, it did. And it's kind of sad, because I'm just like, I've had JJ come to me screaming, crying. That was crazy. But anyways, I don't know. But they show you what they show you, and I felt like I had to share it, and so I would share it, and then that's when the whatever thoughts would calm down. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just here. But you did find a feather today? Sha, that's so cute. Oh, Jermaine. It's good to see you. You have 2 of whose books? Whose books you got? Oh, the Long Island Medium. Yeah, and I was watching Lauren Conlon the other day. She's a journalist who interviewed me, and I'm like, wow. She dug into the Hamblin documents and all the things, and she's just like, what? Somebody's here bumping their music. Okay. And anyway, so what was I saying? Damn it. Here I go. I forgot what I was saying. Thank you, Brent. Oh, well, anyways. But yeah. I don't know. And it always, what's crazy? I'm just saying. So my uncle Charles always told jokes, corny as the day is long. Okay. And it was, I remember him taking a $1 bill and long ways. He folded it in half and he was like, do you see the wings? And I was like, yes. And then he folded it again. I don't have one right now. And anyway, so he made it where it did like this. Okay. So the $1 bill's like that. And because he told me to put my hand out, because he'd fold it and say, do you see the wing? And I'd say, yes. And then he'd fold it again. He'd say, do you still see the wings? And I'd say, yes. And then he asked me one more time, do you see the wings? And I'd say, yes. And then he said, stick your hand, do your fist like this. And so I did. And he put it right there and he said, now say wing 3 times. And I'm like, wing, wing, wing. He said, hello. And I'm just like, oh my God. Right. Anyways, so, but the $1 bill and what it represents all on that $1 bill, symbolisms and those things, secret combinations, secretos, the wings. Maybe I need to look up the wing symbolism, huh? Oh no, I just realized it's the freaking feathers. Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I need to go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but she's saying, but by her trying to, she slipped that in, and a lot of people have not talked about it. And I was just like, 2 days before Tylee's birthday is the day JJ allegedly died, right? Actually, we don't know. We don't know if he died on the 22nd or 23rd, and we don't know if she died on the 7th or the 8th. I'm sorry, the 8th or the 9th during a Tim Ballard Rexburg rescue run. A front, okay? A front being the race that Tammy, we thought she was training for. No. She was volunteering for it. And I found the pictures and everything corroborated. Everything else, bullshit, and is a cover. Book of Mormon Evidence Conference for the weekend JJ was murdered, cover. Keep your eyes on the stupid ass freaking Book of Mormon conferences, okay? Because they are cover. Some of them, allegedly, in my opinion. All right. But yes. And so I didn't realize from your point, I still can't get over Lori admitting JJ died on September 22nd when she said Tylee died 2 days before her 17th birthday, which we know is a lie. I mean, really, we don't. We know that now. We know evidence shows that Tylee was not seen after the 8th, which is, right. Yeah. I get what you're saying, though. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying from the evidence that has been collected from all the evidence, there's no evidence of Tylee being alive after September 8th. After the, oh my God. I'm like Dory. Okay. That's who I am. Dory. Okay. Am I pushing the right button? Everything looks different back here. I'm going to go back to this thing because this is so sad. I'm now I freak out because I don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. I freak out because Joe, he always clicks it and then oh my God, my nose is itching. And it never shows the screen. I'm like, I always check because I'm paranoid. But I really think I wish I could just roll this backwards because I don't know. It just doesn't look natural the way they're bebopping right there. Anyways. It's so sad, man. It's sad. And I got to show you something because this is just one of those things. So again, I told y'all I started, watching this oh, you can't see it. This and how people have said, this is JonBenet Ramsay, but this is people say that this could be maybe, I don't know. We're not there. Ghislaine Maxwell right here, maybe, possibly. And like I said, this is dripping. Look at the raccoon right here. For what it's worth. I'm just pointing some things out. I'm not trying to poo-poo on anybody or disrespect anybody. Ghislaine Maxwell was represented by the same law firm as John Ramsay. I don't know how to say all this. Haddon, Morgan, and Foreman, PC. Now, why would a British socialite be represented by a Denver firm? JonBenet Ramsay's father, John Ramsay, dated Natalie Holloway's mother. Connections. Anyways, in July 2020, following the arrest of British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, who was allegedly connected to convicted sex offender. She's convicted now too. But there's no list. So anyways, they can go fuck themselves. All right. Sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring. A photograph went viral, supposedly showing Maxwell pictured with JonBenet Ramsay, not with her, but behind her. A six-year-old, by the way, 6, whose disappearance and subsequent death made U.S. national news in 1996 and has been exploited ever effing since. Whenever Joe told me that somebody at the trial was like, well, basically there goes our golden egg, Lori being convicted for the final time. And that's fucking disgusting. Okay. Think about the things that you can say. Okay. I'm just sorry. Just saying it again just pisses me off. Oh, look, I have these out of order. It says, this is a genuine photograph of Ramsay. However, the identity of the woman in the background is unknown, and there's little evidence to support the claim that this person is Maxwell. I didn't write this, though. It came from I have the link in a minute. This photograph appears in the April 2019 A&E special, quote, Hunting, which I thought was interesting. JonBenet's Killer, The Untold Story. We reviewed the version of this video available via Hulu and found this image at around the 121.40 mark. The photograph is presented as a new image that has never been seen by the public, but no information is provided about where or when it was taken. Some have presumed that this was the last photo of Ramsay, but that isn't the case. A few seconds after this photo appears in the A&E special, another image is shown that supposedly shows the actual last photograph ever taken of her on a ritualistic Christmas Day, 1996. And so this is what I'm saying, because, okay, what's up with these people taking pictures of their kids drugged? Obviously, looks like it. JJ, Tylee, JonBenet. Sure, there's many more. Where's the snuffs? Keep them too. Yeah. I mean, ain't right. Anyway, so I don't even know what I got. I was looking for the picture of, I know I've seen it before, or I wouldn't be looking for it, right? But there was a picture of Patsy the day of, when all the police presence was at their house. So, soon after her daughter was sacrificed / murdered. I think they took the torture too far, maybe. She was sexually victimized. I'm just going to say it. She was victimized down there with pieces of her mother's paintbrushes. Okay. Same thing with Hamlin daughters. They claim pencils. Some women have claimed knives, and I can't imagine. Anyways, but I remember seeing a picture of Patsy, and she looked, and I mean, okay, I'm so sorry that this is my only reference for it, but this is what went through my mind whenever I saw that picture of Patsy. She was just real flustered looking. Looked like she had been performing oral. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. She just had this weird look. Anyways, I don't know if y'all know where the picture is or what, but I'll find it. It's probably just, down, down, down. Maybe it's in the tunnels of the web now. Are there tunnels in the web now? Asking for all the human slaves. Anyways. Oh my God. Yeah, I've heard of bottles before. Photoshop. It could be, like I said, Oh, you're talking about the one with I wonder why somebody would superimpose or Photoshop Ghislaine. And if it can't even be proven that it is Ghislaine, it's just like, it's like hidden in plain sight is no joke. And they're not playing. It's like, it slaps you. You're like, oh shit. Just like Julie Rowe. Julie Rowe, I have found where she, with her, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm cussing a lot right now today again. Hold on just one second. Yeah, but that freaked me out right here. Grandfather clock, black and white, checkered floor, and it's Christmas time. The grandfather clock often symbolizes the passage of time and the inevitability of aging and mortality. Really? Not a good one. It represents the continuity and rhythm of life, marking each hour with precision. In literature and art, a grandfather clock may also symbolize tradition, heritage, and the connection between past and present generations. So it's generational. Its presence in a home can evoke a sense of stability and permanence, standing as a silent witness to the unfolding of family history. That's just from my AI. I'm just saying. And I noticed that in the video that I shared with you earlier of that 2020 or whatever it's called special. And this is what Patsy said. She said, I remember walking in and seeing her laying there in front of the Christmas tree. I'm like a gift or something? I knelt down over her and just laid my body on her body and my cheek against her cheek. And that's when I was like, whoop, loin to loin, cheek to cheek. That's just, I don't know. I can't prove it. I'm not saying, hey, she's saying the same thing that Lori and Chad say to each other. Can't wait till we're again eating bacon. Okay. That's another one. But anyway, so loin to loin, cheek to cheek. So I'm like, why would you, first off, your husband allegedly goes and finds her miraculously while there's a cop there and a freaking priest? What are the freaking odds? And so John says, I want to, he finds her, doesn't scream, tries to get the rope off of her wrist or whatever. Says he can't. Oh, and he went with a person down there. And I'm just like, where was this person? Witness, aka whatever. Where's this person? Did you not scream? Did the cops not, obviously did not scope. They didn't clear the damn house. Okay, first off. Anyways, I think it's cover up all the way from the beginning to right now. And Denver is dirty. Sorry. Said it. Everybody's dirty. All these, and there's a lot of corruption. Okay. So let's just not be like, oh, that's no, because we want to worship somebody. I don't be worshiping nobody. I appreciate people and I appreciate the police in our case, that had to see what they had to see. And that sucks. And I wish I could take that away, but I respect them. But then I'm also like, they're humans. They're just like me. They're just like you. We're not exalted. Okay. So anyways, but it just doesn't make sense. None of it. And so it stinks. It stinks. And I don't even know the whole story. I haven't dug into it. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It just caught me today. Anyway, so she says, I knelt down over her. So John finds his dead daughter. Tries to takes the duct tape off of her, he says. Tries to take the rope off, but he couldn't get it off, And so he grabs her and then brings her and puts her in front of the fucking Christmas tree on the floor. The cops there, or the detective, preacher or priest, he's there. Obviously, Patsy and John, and the grandfather's clock. It was there. It's standing as a witness. Okay, joking, and so this is what she does. So he does that. He says that he picks her up, brings her, lays her on the floor in front of the Christmas tree to protect Patsy from having to see that too, is what he said. And then so Patsy says, I remember walking in. So this is immediately after he says that. I remember walking in and seeing her laying there in front of the Christmas tree. I knelt down over her. So John, that didn't work, is what I'm saying. You basically offered her up at the damn tree as a present? Ew. Anyways, I knelt down over her and just laid my body on her body. Why? Okay. I mean, is anybody trying to do any life-saving measures? Nobody screams. Everybody's just like looking at they're like all in different corners or something, facing the corner. It's I knelt down over her and just laid my body on her body and my cheek against her cheek, and it was cold. I would say she was cold. It. Anyways, and Father Raul was there, and he started saying the last rites, I believe. And I just kept saying, no, ask God to raise her. I was like, oh, that's some scary words there. Anyways. Come on. Oh. Yeah. Some people are saying that's her. I don't know. It didn't really they're all assholes. They're all doing this weird shit. So John is a billionaire. And he's connected. Very connected. Obviously very connected. And I don't know. I don't know because I was not there. It just stinks, is what I'm saying. I remember reading this letter from, it's a judge in a coffee house or something. I remember reading it, and I have it saved to my hard drive somewhere in a PDF. And it's a judge, a retired judge, who spills the tea basically on the corruption in Boulder County, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like just hearing how he explained things about what goes on. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm not trying to be ignorant. And I saw Judge Bareski do weird, signs. Whatever. Do you, boo? I don't care. Like, not in my way. But it does just kind of, and it wasn't just Judge Bareski. I saw Judge, what's his name? Koberger. Oh my God. Whatever that judge's name is. He looks like a freaking that bird. Those old cartoons or whatever, like the Three Black Birds or something. Forget the name of those birds. Anyways, he does a lot of Freemasonry symbols. I'm like, damn, dude, calm down. It's just interesting. I'm very fascinated right now by this MK Ultra thing. That's not a conspiracy. It's out there and it's happening. It's happened. Now we just have another, I guess, hurdle, to overcome, and how easily can we be manipulated? How easily can we be influenced? And everybody should be interested in this because it affects you, it affects me, and it has affected our grandparents, our great grandparents. They've been sharpening this up, and to the point where it seems it could possibly be that, yes, Lori, Alex, Chad, and others committed some heinous ass crimes. But did somebody, did something, a sound or, the NLP, what do you call it, Chris? The non-linguistic programming NLP, that like Julie Rowe uses with her riddling. I don't know. It's that call out chaos. I'm gonna call it, where it makes people just on demand go and commit heinous things like school shootings and murders. Maybe bring sacrifice. The deer ain't gonna kill itself. So, I'm trying to put it into context, but it ultimately goes back on, I'm not excusing anybody for any of this shit. I'm just saying, I didn't know about this. Okay. And so that sounds like something I would be interested in learning more about, because it affects all of us. And so just like ritualistic abuse, call it child abuse, call it whatever you got to do to call, just to come to terms with, these kids aren't lying. Believe them. Victims usually aren't lying. You believe them until they give you a reason not to. After that, gloves off, But why would you believe the person that's being accused? What's the difference? Because that one's saying nice things about the other one? Or, what's the reasoning there? It's the same standard. It's the same, I don't know. It's the same thing. All right, go start work, girl. Go make some good money and be careful. Knows how to pull your heart with words. Believe the children. There's no damn conspiracy. It's a conspiracy theory, y'all. If you really think about it. You ain't got to think about it that hard. Just right here. It's a conspiracy theory. It sounds a lot like Lori's language. When you hear people who are being accused of these heinous acts and crimes against children, especially, when they say, oh, the therapist, that's that same therapist that implanted those horrible memories. What's the therapist's end game? Okay. What does the therapist get out of this besides blackballed? Okay. What would be their motivation? Because that's what Brenda Miles and Brenda and Dick, of course, her husband's name is Dick. They must be using their little witch cowers right now to make my nose itch a lot. Anyways, because that's what Brenda and Dickie Miles said whenever a bunch of kids accused them of having touch parties and molesting them. That's President Nelson, aka the prophet of the Mormon Church right now, Skull and Bone alumni. He's about 800 years old. And there is a fountain of youth, if you know what I'm saying. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to quit. So yeah, they said, oh no, that's that. Oh, not that therapist. No, that therapist implants all these fucked up memories. Crazy. But yet, you know, you have the David Hamlins and the Jody Hildebrands and all those other freaks, okay? You know, therapists that are being recommended. They're like, here's you some chattel. You know, here's you some lambs, some sheeples here. And they herd them into that trap. And then they pay for it. Anyways. Oh my God. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, Dickie. Oh, Dickie Dick. There's always a dick. Richard Mao, Jason Mao, he's a dick. So that tracks. I've never heard of the Hampstead children in 2014 in the UK. Now all you find if you search is that it was a fucking hoax. Oh my God. Y'all, we need to okay. And I mean, I'm being serious. So let me know if you're even interested in this. But there are a lot of these cases out there. I'm obviously going to die on this hill right here. You know, hey, ritualistic elements. Okay. This is what this is. And anyways, so I'm basically not going anywhere as far as like my research. I want to cover, I mean, and not in great detail, you know, like I want to give each case, you know, my full attention. But I wonder if there's some way where we can meet and have a book club and read or whatever. Like you say, you have these clips downloaded, or you know what I'm saying, and just work on a case until we get through it. Like the Franklin scandal. I don't remember all the things right now, but you know what I'm talking about. All these corrupt hoaxes. Okay. Referring to your prayer post from your last post. No, did I do prayer post? But so do you know what I'm saying? Like some kind of, I don't know, where we can work on a case until we finish it and maybe meet once or twice, however we can do it. And just kind of go through these quote unquote hoaxes, aka scandals, aka real lives, real stuff. And they connect. They always connect to other ones. And so, you know, we're filling out that tapestry. It's kind of like people who are interested in genealogy, except it's just going to be through information. Okay. Maybe it's our Freedom of Information Act. It does. It sounds, that'll keep me where I'll have to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll want to show up if you guys are there to do it with me. I don't want to orbit as much. I don't have to as much. So, but knowledge is power. I know. Still haven't found Summer Wells. What, there was a case the other day and I was like, God, this reminds me of Summer Wells. Is it the kids from Canada? Jack and what's their names? Jack and anyways. I'm trying to think. Anyways. I don't know. I need to hush because I obviously ran out of words because I can't fill in my own damn thoughts right now. Jack and Lily, thank you. That is disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Oh, yeah, because it did remind me of Summer Wells because it's like a compound, you know? I saw the interview with the step grandma. I thought she was just the grandma. No, I'm not saying anything. I don't know. Just trying to figure it out. And I'm not really that plugged into it. So I just kind of catch things here and there. And it reminds me of Tylee and JJ as well. You know, it's like May 2nd. That was the day before my birthday. It was the day after May 1st, which May 1st is the ritualistic holiday. They really love that. The Mayflower Compact. Remember, I'll have to tell you all about that. One day, Nancy James bragged about it in one of her posts. She was like, "Oh, it's the Mayflower Compact." So I'm looking in all their religious stuff, and then I'm like, how do I end up over here with the damn Mayflower Compact? I'm over here in politics now, you know, like what? The Constitution. And I'm looking at the roster of the first passengers on the Mayflower, you know. Anyways, all right, I gotta go. My nose itches and it's driving me nuts. So yes, thank you for saying that too. Sebastian Rogers is still missing also. That's so fucked up. I don't know what to think about that one. You know, I really just nothing that they say adds up. And until then, I will continue to look at all of them like they're all suspects. I ain't got no shame. They can kiss it, you know. Oh, take my time. Yeah, right. I'm just kidding. But I mean, so me and Jason are leaving Tuesday night. Oh my gosh. I'll be on Web Sleuths Tuesday, I think around 2 or 3. I guess I'll have to find out and I'll leave a post. Oh my God, my damn hair. Tuesday around 2 or 3 Central or Eastern. I think she does Eastern time. Web Sleuths, and it's the not so the oh my God. I made a thumbnail for her, but the end of the world thing that she does every year for in case the world does end in July, on July 22nd, 2020, it was supposed to be, which it was my ex-husband's birthday. And so I was like, okay, I could see the world ending on that day. I could see Armageddon happening. Thank you, Shelley. Oh, thank you. 5. Thank you. Thank you, Constance. The not so end of the world again party. 24 hours. And so she does a stream for 24 hours straight. And anyways, I had fun on there last time. I'm pretty sure Megan, I don't know when she goes on, but I'm sure Megan will be on there too. And so I asked if Joe could come on with me because I do better bouncing off of him. I don't know. It just, poor thing. Right. But I do appreciate him and his service to this community and to my relatives who are no longer here, you know. Y'all are good people and I appreciate you. And I think that we're gathering together the saints, you know. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be like Lori. I've been trying to put together my victim impact statement, which will be read Friday. Yay, right? That is scary. It's like I'm excited, but then I'm like, oh my God. I don't like getting up in front of people. Like, I don't mind doing this. It could be 8,000 of you. I wouldn't care. But standing there, sitting there, well, I don't know how I'll even go. And if somebody objects, I'll probably cry because I had like a trauma thing happen to me when I was 12 in a courtroom by a judge. And so I'm just like, But I'm going to rebuke her at the end. Anyways, I am a gatherer. Bring it. I definitely don't sift between the wheats and the tares, though. I'm not a self-righteous bitch like Lori. Right. I think so too, Constance. I think so too. Thank you. I hope talking to us help. Oh God, yes. It does, Nina. Like, I recommend this 10 out of 10 stars. Okay. No, for real. This has helped me process so many of my thoughts, so many feelings, so many worries and anxieties, and it's an outlet. And I feel like I owe y'all so much, you know. That would be my recommendation to any family member going through any kind of trauma, like just tune in, plug in, and it there would be some times when I'd just be like, I don't feel like doing nothing else. I don't feel like I lost desire to do the things that I used to like and love to do. But I've really, I mean, it just transitioned a lot, like the work, so to speak. I have to do it on digital things and to share on a slide, it's those kind of things. But to like, I don't know, just to show up and you guys are here. And I can't believe it. And I'm so grateful. I really am. Anyways. Appreciate y'all. You'll be standing behind a podium if that helps your worries about how you look. I felt uncomfortable. I do. It's, and then it's hot. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sweating right now. Just sitting here without my hair on. That too, Libby. Oh my God, Libby Day. Got it. Yeah. Overcoming, huh? Overcoming obstacles, not trying to wipe them out. Just saying. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. And thank y'all for supporting my family and other family members too. I mean, I've seen a lot of people feel like they have to pick a side, of course, and I'm just like, I like and love everybody, and I even watch people that I don't really care for because, I mean, why not? It's just a different, perspective that is going to make me think. It's going to make me rebuttal, or I'll give credit where it's due. I'm just like, okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a contest. Lord, we're just, I think Trace is who said it. Might have been Little Brands, but I know it was Trace. She said, you did whatever you had to do. You're just surviving. You just had to survive. And, I can't remember in full context, but yeah, sometimes you just got to survive and it's okay. We're not getting out here alive. The preppers, don't tell them that though, because they think they are for sure. And that is so wild to me because I'm like, whoa, they're going to live. They're going to have diapers for you. They're going to have ointment. They are going to have money. Okay. Just in case your Jesus needs it. Just saying. All right. So, oh crap. Wrong thing. But y'all need to go check this out too. Right here. I'm going to throw this link.
Woman in America. Jesus Christ knows.
Oh no.
Her own attorney once called her the most hated woman in America.
Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered.
Doomsday mom Lori Vallow Daybell.
Anything that comes out of her mouth is a lie.
Known in infamy.
Tell us where the kids are.
Did you do something to your children?
For doing the unspeakable.
Investigators recovered 2 sets of human remains in Chad Daybell's backyard. And tonight, family members are confirming to 12 News the remains belong to JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan.
First convicted in Idaho for murdering her children, Tylee and JJ.
It's destroyed people.
And for her role in the death of Tammy Daybell, her current husband, Chad Daybell's first wife.
We have to live with the fact that we're not going to have the people we love in our lives anymore.
Now she's convicted in Arizona.
Guilty.
For conspiring to kill her former husband, Charles Vallow.
Lost her mind.
And conspiring to kill her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux.
We got you.
Dark religious beliefs at the core of these crimes.
You justified all of this by going down a bizarre religious rabbit hole, and clearly you are still down there.
With each trial,
None of us believed her cock and bull story.
the web of people impacted by these crimes only amplifies.
These cases are hard.
That's insane.
And Vallow Daybell refuses to accept responsibility.
We will both be exonerated in the future.
Or her fate.
She'll be rotting in prison where she deserves to be.
Welcome to a 12 News I-Team special report convicting Lori Vallow Daybell.
A tragic and twisted case spanning 6 years and multiple states, fueled by dark religious beliefs, leaving a trail of dead spouses, murdered children, and families stricken with grief.
And as we approach Lori Vallow Daybell.
And in Idaho, harsh about winter. And in Idaho, as 2019 turned to 2020, a cold, dark truth was starting to emerge amid a web of lies.
Tonight, 2 Arizona kids are missing after vanishing without a trace.
This is a bizarre mystery.
December 2019, the first time police put out a public alert for these 2 children, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, siblings, both missing, last seen months earlier in September 2019. The cold, dark truth: their mother, Lori Vallow, was not the one to report them missing.
Just tell us where the kids are.
That's
I mean, it's so simple. Remedy is so simple. Just say where they are.
Kay and Larry Woodcock are JJ Vallow's grandparents.
He's pure-hearted. What you get and what you see with JJ is what there is.
They were the first to wave a red flag after they hadn't seen JJ or his sister Tylee in
All
months.
right, y'all go check it
JJ
out.
had special needs and they were worried.
I just love him so much. That love is great love. And
Love y'all too.
we just want that
Thank you,
back.
mods.
As they searched for JJ and Tylee, Kay and Larry started to untangle the web of lies. They
It's
learned that
tangled though,
Lori
like her
moved with the
whip.
kids in September 2019
Absolutely.
from the East Valley of Arizona
like where you
to
put it.
Rexburg, Idaho, a rural
Yes.
area in the southeastern part of the state.
Look, 33.
Tylee
Why I
is
gotta be
Lori's
33?
biological daughter from her third marriage,
Saw
while
that.
JJ, part of the state. Tylee is Lori's Rexburg, Idaho, a rural area in the southeastern part of the state. Tylee is Lori's biological daughter from her third marriage, while
Of course it's 33. I remember Kit, saying that too on WordWise. She's like, of course it's 33. Of course Tom Harrison died allegedly at 33. Of course he did when Jesus died allegedly, right? These people are crazy. Anyways, bizarre religious rabbit holes. I'm no stranger, right? And y'all have been right there with me the whole time, and I appreciate that. Well, damn, I thought I had it ready. I did not, obviously. Hold on. Oh, yeah, look. I didn't have this ready, but here. So, remember John Benet? And then, so here's this one. Oh. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right, last picture before he died. And then we had our Tylee's earlier with JJ before he died. It's just like, come on, man. John Benet Ramsay before she died. What are these for? Anyways, hold on. Go and grab it. Okay, hold on. Whoa. It blew up. Okay, share this, and then we're ending on this. Okay, love you guys. Thank you, mods. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe, and Brandon, and just God bless America and all the world. Lord knows we need the help. Love always wins. Y'all gonna see it Friday in the courtroom. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me do this. It's just I found it again, so all right.
I'm called of God! I'm called of God!